I'll go down at the break and get my coffee. I was running late. .604 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing, starting off your Wednesday morning at 49 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge as we broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, that's your IT provider, your IT partner. We got a busy show for you this morning. I will say right now, right off the blocks, the toughest part of this morning's show is the next 20 minutes. Because over the course of the next 20 minutes, we have to hold Franz back because he is going to explode in Legally Served this morning.
I got some feelings.
Is that accurate?
Most of our sessions are weeks. It's light. We can disagree. I am on fire right now.
In the next 20 minutes of anticipation is going to be actually brutal. Trying to hold you back here. So we got attorney Franz Borghardt for Legally Served. We're going to be talking about corruption in family court. Question mark? Or exclamation point. You decide. Also on the show this morning, Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple's going to be with us. We've got Buck Vandersteen on in the 7 o'clock hour. Buck Vandersteen, who, aside from having just an awesome name, is with the Louisiana Forestry Association. We're going to be talking carbon capture because Microsoft is coming to town. Oh, it's going to be good. We've got Dustin Yates with a little St. George update in the 8 o'clock hour, and we've got Darlene stopping by or hopping on the phone from the Main Street Market. They're back open. Main Street Market is open again. So we got a lot to cover. Let's roll. Top stories and trending.
On Talk 107.3. Number 5.
A federal judge in Baton Rouge has blocked a Louisiana age verification law for social media, ruling that it violates the First Amendment and is too vague to enforce. In a 94-page opinion. Not going to hold it back even more. Go for it, Franz. Go.
I told you so.
I know. In a 94-page opinion, U.S. District Judge John W. DeGravel he granted Trade Group Net Choice's motion for a summary judgment and issued a permanent injunction against Act 456, the Secure Online Child Interaction and Age Limitation Act. Attorney General Liz Murrell said she intends to appeal the decision.
Number 4.
No way this doesn't go sideways. LSU's interim head coach and running backs coach Frank Wilson is heading to Ole Miss as their running backs coach, according to On3 Sports. Wilson served as LSU's interim head coach after the firing of Brian Kelly, served as the assistant head coach and running backs coach from 2022 to 2025. Of course, Wilson has numerous stints here in Baton Rouge and does amazing work. CBS Sports reported that Wilson will still serve as the interim coach for the bowl game before moving over to Oxford.
Number 3.
The warden at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center in St. Gabriel has resigned from his job at the prison, according to the Department of Public Safety and Corrections. Keith Turner gave his notice Monday, which, by the way, was a day before another inmate was found dead in the prison, the 7th of September.
Number 2.
The owners of Cadence Apartments met with Baton Rouge law enforcement to address student safety at the Southern affiliated apartment complex after multiple crimes were committed at the complex, including a homicide last week. Student Housing of America, a nonprofit organization that owns Cadence, met with East Baton Rouge Parish District Attorney Hiller Moore and the Baton Rouge Police Department on Monday to discuss the well-being of residents at the Cadence community.
Number 1.
Ascension Parish deputies have arrested a Prairieville man accused of 60 counts of possessing child pornography. Benjamin McNeil, 49 years old, was arrested on December 11th on 54 counts of possessing child sexual abuse materials, as well as 6 counts of child sexual abuse materials involving children under the age of 13. This investigation was going on for a little over a week.
There's a look at today's top stories. Now let's find out what's trending.
What you got, Breland?
All right, I did a little digging in this because I wanted to know. Well, President Trump says he will deliver a primetime address to the nation from the White House tonight.
Yeah.
Talking about his accomplishments over the last year and previewing the next 3.
Yeah.
So I did some digging. So
Okay.
Caroline Leavitt says it's going to be a good speech. So
Oh God.
I know.
No.
Here's
What is she gonna say? It's gonna be a bad speech?
well, I know, Brian. So I did more digging. Of
Not
course,
just a good speech, the best speech.
oh, the very
The
best,
best
the
speech ever.
best, the best. Going to be touching on border security, the economy, and upcoming policy priorities, according to Fox News.
Okay. Is he gonna
So-
broadcast from the new ballroom?
With his face splattered in the back. Okay, the Powerball jackpot for today's drawing is up to $1.25 billion. That's an estimated cash value of $572.1 million.
Yeah. No, that's the cash out, right?
Oh, the
cash out.
estimated cash value.
Yeah,
cash
yeah,
out.
yeah. If you go for the cash option, it's 572.
I would be fine with the cash.
Oh, you always go with the cash.
Yeah.
Always.
If I win,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take care of you,
I appreciate that.
and I'm going to take care of
Thank
I
you.
Greatly appreciate
Thank
that.
you,
you.
Franz.
You may be employed by Borghardt Corp.
That's fine with me.
The
Plenty of room for you and
What-
you at Borghardt Corp.
Right?
Borghardt Corp.
Yeah, like Lex Corp.
Okay.
Borghardt Corp. I
With-
need somebody. How would you like? We could do our own little network. How much
Okay.
do you need to have your own network?
Uh,
Now, I
but
love
we-
Talk
we-
107.3. You have our own network.
You talking about launching a competitive radio station on the radio station?
Or I could just buy Guaranteed Broadcasting. What's the
I don't
value?
know. You think Flynn wants to hang it up?
No.
No.
Flynn gonna be fighting tooth
No.
and nail.
He'll let me
That ain't
buy
gonna
in.
happen.
I bet you Flynn would let me buy in.
Buy in?
Yeah.
That might
I'm
happen.
sure that might happen. Huh. All right. So Uber launched something called a Uber, where they recap your year in food and travel, and people think they stole the idea from an SNL skit.
They totally did. In fact, I'm gonna send you this for the next hour, okay? Because Fish sent me this. They totally did. The SNL sketch, I gotta find it again. Dadgummit. Instead of doing like where you traveled, they did like the Uber Eats thing. Like, you spent $29,000 at Taco Bell this year. It was a hilarious sketch. Just running down how wasteful. Let me find it.
I spend stupid money on Uber Eats.
Really?
And I discovered, can we be vulnerable for a second?
Yeah.
I discovered that Uber Eats will also deliver groceries from like Albertsons and like Petco
Yes.
and other places.
Yes. Even
I was
dog
like-
food.
I was like, I'm never leaving my couch again.
Right.
I've got
okay.
it. So next hour, we do training stories next hour. We're gonna play this back because this totally happened. I'm sending it to you right now.
I need to know more about this.
Yeah. 612 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We got to take a quick break. Come back, talk sports. That's we're talking LSU women's basketball. Yesterday was the field trip game.
It was so good, Brian. It was so good. I will tell you
I
this.
forgot you were there.
The men
Yeah.
are phenomenal, but the ladies, hands down, that was a treat.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about it next.
Renee said, "What about me, Franz?"
Oh, Renee, I got you, boo. Kim will get hired to be my dog's personal love friend. Kimberly is very, very, very talented. She's a podcaster. She does other things, but she's also good with dogs. And I went on a trip somewhere and she basically dog sat for me. And if you've ever left your animal with someone who gave them a better life than you give them, and then like the dog is like, oh, this is awkward. You're back.
Franz is making me cry in here.
like, do I have to go with him? Like, Miss Kimberly, Aunt Kimberly, can I stay with you? My dog Maggie had never worn clothes up to that point.
Kim said, "I will make Maggie a star."
Dude, the vet totally pet shamed my dog's weight the other day, and I wasn't having it. I was like, we don't talk about her weight in front of her. We're not about that household. So you can hear me say this because I'm going to behave myself in the next segment too. So no, it's going to be on. I've spent generally for our segments, I spend about 20, 30 minutes reading whatever you send me, and I think about it, and occasionally I'll jot down some mental notes. If I told you how much time I spent on this one,
I'm guessing 4 hours.
About 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, that is my guess.
It derailed my day yesterday.
No, I could tell by how fired up you were when you called me.
Yeah. Oh, I got you could. I got more and more angry as the day progressed.
And then like an hour later, Franz posted again. I was like, let me tease this on Talk Story.
I saw what you did. So if you're Saturday Night Live, are you happy they did that?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you love it, right? That's a win.
If you're Saturday Night Live, you've been criticized for the last 20 years. You haven't been a trendsetter for 40. Let me think about it. Like, what was the most recent Saturday Night Live thing you can reference?
I used to get into the Justin Timberlake, Liquor Town, where he would they
bring it on back to, oh yeah.
But that's old.
Right. Even that's 20 years old.
I do like the news guys.
Che and Jost.
And when they do the write each other's jokes, that I literally am just dying.
Yep. All right, we're gonna dive in. Here we go. 6:15, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We've got highlights from yesterday's women's basketball game. But before we get to them, though, Rowland, you were in the house. Was it exactly what I told you it was going to be?
Yes, it was.
It was white noise.
It was loud, tiny little yelling and just loud. And the more the crowd would cheer, the more it would get louder. And look, I have never been to a ladies basketball game until yesterday.
Really? Okay.
It was every day.
So they're not always like that. Morgan State was 1-11 coming in. So once conference play kicks in, it's going to be a little bit different. You're not going to see single digits per quarter for the other team's score. But that being said, you had yesterday, was it 5 Tigers in double figures? Michaela Williams and Flau'jae Johnson each had 14. In fact, let's go ahead and start off with a highlight apiece from very early on in the game. Michaela Williams hitting from beyond the arc. 1.2.
Richard right wing, 2 hour left. Pass left side to Williams, another 3, and it's good.
She's still hot. That's a great pass by Jada Richard.
Couple of Bengal Pest Product 3-pointers for LSU, guaranteed overnight extermination with Bengal at 7-2 Tigers. Williams with the pair of threes.
Fast forwarding,
will get it left side for about a 15-footer.
Fast forwarding just a couple minutes later, Flau'jae Johnson, who, as she's done in her LSU career, starts the highlight on the defensive side before finishing it on the offensive side.
Hayes in a double team. Joyner got a little piece of that. Now it's knocked her out at top of the key. Flau'jae Johnson's got it. To the bucket. Layup is good. There were a lot of hands. I didn't see who got the final hand on it. In fact, Flau'jae got credit for the steal and the bucket.
But that was good.
So they both had 14. Malaysia Fulwiley had 11, which included draining. Well, let me fast forward here. There we go. Including in the. Did I give you 3.3?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure. Including running out on this fast break.
And the rebound's taken by Michaela Williams as Prysock missed. Williams hits a cutting. Fulwiley to the bucket.
Good find by Michaela.
Layup good. That was in fast speed. As Williams hit Fulwiley, who took one step, laid it home at
63-17 was what the score would be right there. The Tigers would score one more bucket and then call timeout. Why are you calling timeout when you're up 65-17?
I saw that. I'm like, wait up.
Why are you calling timeout when you're up 65-17? Well, Franz, you have a fourth grader. What is it the elementary school kids and the junior high kids, and it used to be the high school kids, what is it that they can't stop saying?
Come on.
My milkshake.
No. The two numbers together that all the kids with the 6-7. 6-7. 6-7.
PMAC exploded.
I don't need you to tell me this because we're going to play it right here. You call timeout up 65-17 to put in a play to do this.
Kids love the number 67. Very innocent and fun. Still haven't figured out the origin. Part from a rap song, part from a bunch of different stuff. But when we get 67, for the adults in the crowd who don't know, these kids are going to go berserk. So here we go. Inbounds lob to Knox. She touch pass. Richard layup is good. And she's fouled on point number 67.
Listen to that.
I know.
And as advertised, the kids are going crazy. Coach Mulkey's smiling. There's some little hand gesture that everybody has done. This is something. Coach just shook her head and said, I don't know.
White noise.
Richard.
It's so
yes,
loud.
and Kim Mulkey, she turned around and she kept looking up and smiling. She loved it.
I loved every second of it. Here's the Fox Business Report. Okay, now we ran out of time in that particular segment, but we're going to come back around to it instead of the outside in. I need the 3.4 and Jim Henderson's Pigs Have Flown call. Okay, that's the the TikTok trend. What are two clips that give off the same energy? Yeah, that's.
I like your. I'm going to call that a fleece. Quarter zip. I like your quarter zip. You know, I'm a fan of quarter zips. Branded quarter zips. You need a Borghardt law firm quarter zip. Just saying. Got him.
I'm here for it. Bring it on, boss.
I've got some merch downstairs. The problem is I've got some really good Yeti Stanley looking mugs, but they're like cockroaches. Like you give somebody 3 or 4 of them and they just die.
Yeah,
over here.
Mine is somewhere up in there.
No, it is. It is. The allegedly one's right there. It's hidden behind your big one.
Oh, well, because that's the water jug. That's where the water comes from.
I can make that happen. I know people.
But yeah, I rotate between yours and like Rocco gave me a mug and the Sadvocate.
I gotta tell you,
Sadvocate gave me a mug.
Godfather Rocco sketch bit.
Bro,
I sat there for a minute thinking, how am I going to top? I can't top that.
There's no reason you should try. You're two different animals. You're two different.
Animal's the right word.
I will watch tiger videos and I will watch panda videos. I don't expect panda to be tiger. I don't expect tiger to be panda.
It was just beautiful.
And I'll let y'all battle over which one's which.
Fun fact: pandas are the only creature that will not mate to save its own species in captivity. Yeah. It's like all we need you guys to do is have sex and just live in luxury. And I don't want to do it.
Instinct? Yeah, pandas are stupid and clumsy.
They're beautiful creatures. Like every other animal, every other.
Oh, go to Panda Talk.
Every other animal in a zoo, you put them together and you're like, hey, you're in prison and all you got to do is eat and have sex.
Yeah.
And they do that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter with a panda. You can give them a dozen raw oysters and some Marvin Gaye. They're not doing anything. All right, heading back to Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. We try to regroup here. If you were watching on Facebook Live, you know why. All right, we have an actually relatively light start to the morning. You've got your normal volume on. Ooh, I said that, and then I scrolled eastward. You've got pretty heavy volume on I-12 westbound coming in right at O'Neill Lane. As you approach O'Neill Lane on I-12 westbound, it's going to be really slow going, roughly from before the Amite River all the way up to O'Neill. The normal volume you see back at range isn't there, but you will hit it in just a minute if you're hopping on the interstate right now. 12 westbound all the way up to O'Neill is looking rough. After O'Neill picks back up again, and everywhere else in town on the interstates looks good. 10 west is great. 10 east coming across from West Baton Rouge looks great, as is 110. Surface streets, there's no accidents to report. but Central Thruway southbound is backed up as you approach Florida Boulevard right now. It is slow going as you get to Florida, and it remains slow going when you cross Florida headed towards Old Hammond Highway. That's really the only thing we're looking at right there is 12 West heading to O'Neill and Central Thruway crossing over to O'Neill right by Florida. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. 50 or the top?
50.
Okay. 624 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Vex European. VEX. Vinny and his team over at Vex European are here for you. As we approach the end of the year, you might be thinking about you're probably putting together next year's budget. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I've had a European vehicle for years. It's time to re-up. Well, I tell you what, make an appointment with Vinny and his team over at Vex European. Meet with a certified expert level technician for your make of vehicle. If you drive a European vehicle, take it on over there. I have an 18-year-old Mercedes, and Vinny and his team keep that thing humming like it's brand new, and I love that. When you buy a European vehicle, you buy it for performance and longevity. Maximizing that longevity maximizes your budget. So before you start inking down that you want to buy a new car in the new year, maybe get one more year out of your European vehicle by connecting with Vex European, VexEuropean.com. All right, it is time. Can hold them back no longer. Here comes Legally Served. Hey, Franz.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, you tell me, buddy.
I've been doing this with you for I don't know how many years.
Literally from day one, if I'm not mistaken.
I will tell you, sometimes we pick the topics, and sometimes the topics pick us.
This week?
This week I read an article, and I posted on social media about that article. And what then followed was 4 or 5 hours of being bombarded with the other side of the article. And I will tell you what follows today is the most effort I have ever put in to any media platform I have ever done, whether national TV, whether radio, other radio shows. That is my gift to you and the viewers and listeners, because what follows is an absolute poop show.
So this started with, and I want to go back to your text because what started wasn't the article that we had to dig in on. It started with
Karen Unfiltered, right?
Yes.
Well-written article. The article is about Justice Hughes from the Louisiana Supreme Court issuing a separate letter.
Yes.
Separate and apart from the report issued, the 35-ish page report by the Louisiana Supreme Court with recommendations for the family court and EBR.
So it started with Unfiltered with Karen. And
I thought, hey, this is going to be a good topic because the letter deals with some allegations and accusations about inappropriate corruption in the family court in East Baton Rouge.
Start there because
right.
We're going to do this sequentially.
There's allegations of bias, corruption. And by the way, we got to go all the way back. There was a legislator, Representative Edmondson, who passed a resolution with the legislature because there was the belief that the Baton Rouge family court wasn't being run efficiently, was corrupt, and they passed a resolution. And that resolution got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, you know what, we're going to look into it. The Louisiana Supreme Court said, we're going to look into it. We're going to appoint Judge Kuhn, a former First Circuit appellate judge, to look into it. We're going to give him a docket in one of the divisions, and we're going to let him get into it. From there, shenanigans ensue.
Yes.
Justice Hughes and Representative Edmondson and others start showing up to family court proceedings. under the umbrella of, well, we're on a committee. We're observing.
Okay.
And then it gets worse. Cases start randomly from other divisions get moved from the other divisions to Coons Court. Nobody knows why these cases are being moved, but we know that they're getting moved.
Okay.
The family court attorneys, the judges are like, we don't know why they're getting moved, but they're getting moved. They're getting moved under the umbrella of, well, I have this mandate by the Supreme Court to do everything I'm doing. I've read the order. He didn't have the mandate to do what he's doing.
Okay.
So this comes to a head when Justice Hughes, Representative Edmondson, and Judge Kuhn have a conversation that is recorded, hot mic situation.
Knowingly?
I don't know that I believe that they did not realize it was recorded. I do not believe, I have not seen evidence to support that somebody illegally recorded them, but I think it was truly a hot mic situation.
Okay.
We're in an industry. We always assume what?
Always assume the mic is hot.
Right.
Always.
And again, I'm going to side, I don't do family law.
Mm-hmm.
I got no dog in this hunt other than I'm pissed off about.
And that's a big part of, like, as soon as you posted yesterday that we were doing this segment, that was the first response was, I didn't know you did family law. And we're going to break. We'll pick it up from there.
We're going to stop with the recording. We'll pick up with the recording.
He's attorney Franz Borghardt. We'll continue next. Here's news.
Yeah, I don't do hardly any family law, and I will say this. The family court in any parish is a sad place.
We talked about this last week. This was one of our two topics last week.
Nobody is ever happy in family court.
Yeah, in fact, scrolling back through my texts, I can't find the link to Kieran's story anymore. It has like disappeared. You know, I've got it. I found it, but like,
and I'll go one step further. I was going to give an on-record interview with her. And once I started getting bombarded with documents, I told her, I said, I gotta hit the brakes on this because I want to know what the other side of the story is. And I don't want to make a comment half-cocked. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't, and by the way, I know most of the family court attorneys on that floor, the fourth floor of the courthouse. I know the judges. I've never been treated inappropriately on that court, but I don't do a lot of family court.
Right.
So is it possible that inappropriate shenanigans happen? Well, sure. I just never seen it.
Give me one quick second.
Sure. It's like Kim's not even listening to the actual radio. She's just talking about a podcast, her podcast. I'm not really sure what Kim does for a living, but she does do some phenomenal podcasting.
And she's an incredible dog sitter, from what I hear.
She does really good dog sitting work. She sits dog. She sits dog well.
How does one separate themselves as exceptional in the dog sitting world?
There's some people that can't sit, shouldn't sit.
I would imagine dog sitting is like cliff diving. You're either good or you're not. Like
I told your colleague here, when I left for my trip, the dog was one way, and the dog experienced a life far better than.
Did you just reference The Chosen?
The dog came back.
Did you just marry Magdalene, your dog?
Her name is Magdalene.
Oh,
so Maggie. So I come back, and the dog's like, I've just experienced a few days of bliss. I don't want to go back with you.
I don't think the dog ever said that. I questioned the dogs. I was one way, and then I was another.
The dog gained 3 pounds hanging out with Miss Kim. Auntie Kim.
To me, you either come home and your dog is like, you know who's a bad dog sitter? Christopher Moltisanti.
The dog was one way. The dog is now another way. And the difference was Kim.
Kim is converting your dog to Catholicism.
So we're gonna start with the recording when we come back in. Well, you'll have to I'll let you do the. Now she's posting her resume. I have a bachelor's in communication from Southeastern, and I work for HD Supply remotely as a B2B. Yeah, very nice.
Good morning, Christy. Welcome in, Boo.
Renee, Maggie, for me, Maggie is short for Magdalene because she was at a breeder and she was being trafficked. And I thought, that's Mary Magdalene. Whore. What? You laughed a little. You smiled a little bit inside.
I did.
But like finding a good dog sitter, and like she took the dog to her house. That was the big thing. Like, because I worry about, like, I want the dog at my house and comfortable, but also when she freaks out, she pees everywhere. So full disclosure, I'd rather her pee at Kim's house than my house. And, and apparently there was there was one accident, but it was a user error. Like she was trying to get out to go use the bathroom and I love dogs. I love dogs. Dude, the vet is like, we need to talk about your dog's weight. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking. I'm holding the dog and the dog's looking at me and I'm looking at the dog. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Weight problem.
I am.
You like giving your dog treats? I mean, look at her. Yeah. Who wouldn't want to give this dog a treat? What about low fat treats? And I'm like, are they delicious low fat treats? Or are they like low fat treats? Because we know what low fat treats taste like. Yeah. I mean, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at me. I'm looking in the mirror. Like, I know what a low fat treat is. I'm sorry. You were saying?
Where the hell were we in the conversation?
On air?
Yeah.
Recording.
Okay.
We're gonna pick back up. You're gonna do whatever intro you need to do, and then I'm gonna pick up with the recording.
Okay. 636 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got Legally Served rolling right along as well. Franz Borghardt's in the house. We're talking about corruption in family court. Question mark or exclamation point? Franz, we're going to pick up where we left off here in just a second, but we're going to talk about, there's a recording. There's a letter sent to Representative Edmondson from Justice Hughes. There's a letter,
like a 7-page off reservation. Supreme Court justices should not be doing what he did.
Right. And this is it's in response to something else. We'll get to the letter.
I'm getting there. I'm working towards it.
All right. Dive back in.
So the recording we were talking about.
Yes.
On the recording, hot mics, is it illegal? Well, I will say this, because after I posted on social media that I would be talking about the recording, I got a random call from an individual, failed threat, about, well, that was an illegal recording. It's a hot mic situation. So at most, the illegality goes to the admissibility of that recording if it ever becomes a part of a court proceeding. But the content of the recording is very germane to what we're about to talk about.
Go.
The content is Judge Kuhn is talking to Justice Hughes to Representative Edmondson.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point in the recording, Judge Kuhn goes, well, they're going to ask me like how I got these cases. And what Hughes says is, Justice Hughes, Supreme Court Justice Hughes goes, well, they're from Cleo Fields and Representative Edmondson. These were people that called in and complained. So you have a justice telling a judge essentially that people who weren't getting what they wanted in family court called their representatives.
Mm-hmm.
This is all recorded. You can go down to the family court today and listen to it if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
You all should go listen. Tells a judge, these were people that weren't happy. These representatives heard from these people, and you need to take action because of that.
Can I devil's advocate for a second?
Sure.
If there are formal complaints about the family court, wouldn't it behoove a justice to step in and direct cases to where there would be fewer complaints?
I will tell you that if they're first of all, it's family court. Every case has a complaint.
Yeah.
Everybody throughout this state who didn't feel like they got a fair shake has a complaint. It's divorce. It's custody. It's community property division. Nobody leaves Fanny on the butt saying, good job, bud. Okay. Everybody is unhappy. So this conversation happens. Nobody knew, by the way, cases were getting reallotted. Now, some of the cases were conflict cases, and we needed an ad hoc independent judge. No problem. That made sense. So this recording happens. Cleo Fields, Edmondson, they're the reason those people, those individuals, those 9 cases got reallotted.
Okay.
Entirely inappropriate.
Okay.
He's there, Kuhn is there for about 6 months. Makes all sorts of crazy, chaotic decisions. He leaves. The last thing he does when he leaves, he rescinds all his orders.
What?
Right. You send somebody in to fix a problem about efficiency, corruption, chaos. He rescinds all his orders. It's the last act, in fact, he does.
So what happens to those cases? Do they have to be?
Great question. All the money that was spent litigating over those 6 months on attorney's fees, you might as well have set that money on fire. Because if all the order, it's a good question. What happens to orders that are rescinded? Can you even rescind orders and judgments that have been made?
Right.
Right. Corruption, question mark, exclamation mark. Okay. After this, the Louisiana Supreme Court, remember, this all started with a resolution. Louisiana Supreme Court writes a massive report. These are the things we found from Judge Kuhn. These are the things we think that you should change. The family court judges review the report and respond. Hey, we're going to make these changes.
Okay. None
of that report deals with corruption, and all of that was BS.
Okay.
Okay. After that, this is the Supreme Court writing a report. A Supreme Court that Justice Hughes is a part of. He goes off reservation and writes a 7-page letter. By the way, doesn't cite any fact, doesn't cite any authority for what he's doing. He makes allusions about the corruption, but doesn't cite instances. It's very irresponsible. And as an effect of that letter by a justice of the Supreme Court, by the way, hot, just FYI, who decides what to do with judges when they're acting inappropriately? The Louisiana Supreme Court.
Okay.
We know that from Judge Tiffany Foxworth.
Right.
They're the tribunal. They're the tribunal that makes decisions on, you're a bad judge, you can't be a judge anymore. It is entirely inappropriate for someone, a judge, to make an advanced judgment on something that may one day get before him or her. So that 7-page letter gets issued. And now what has happened as an effect of that is good decisions and bad decisions on the 4th floor of the family court are now being called into question. It's kind of like one bad officer doing something, causing all the cases that officer is on.
So everything that we teed up on a completely different discussion last week is coming back to roost this week.
The system is now more chaotic as a result of what those representatives did, and as a result of what Judge Kuhn did, and as a result of, and let me be very clear, a Supreme Court judge should not be going into courtrooms in district courts to affect decisions, to have ex parte communications with judges. They should not be doing that. And incredibly inappropriate.
Okay, but if it's the Supreme Court's job to have oversight here,
as a tribunal, as a court, you got to get to the court first.
Okay, but how do you, as a tribunal, that's great, but if you're not seeing what's going on in the courtrooms themselves, how do you get there?
His fact finding comes from the bench, not from his own independent investigation. And what is he doing going to court proceedings, supporting? It sure did look like he was supporting individuals and sides. And he has come out and done that.
Okay.
Not cool, dude. Not cool.
Walk me down the path of supporting individuals and sides, because this was another part of the conversation that gets tied into it as well. There's some extracurricular get-togethers.
Okay, so the other side of this is, and it's a valid concern, because goes back to Kieran's article. It's a valid concern. Judges hanging out with attorneys drinking. Presumably the attorneys are buying drinks. That creates an air of impropriety. And we're not talking, let's be very specific. We're not talking about a bar association event where everybody's invited, the judges are there, all the attorneys. That's encouraging fellowship where everybody's invited, the entire bar.
Right.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about 3 or 4 attorneys having drinks at the city club. Absolutely creates an air of impropriety. The irony is what Justice Hughes didn't say, because he didn't cite any references. I know for a fact that the people drinking with those judges get ruled against.
Oh.
Just because you're creates an air of impropriety, but just because you're buying a judge a drink doesn't mean they're going to rule in your favor. And I know for a fact that those judges that are alluded to don't always rule in the favor of the individuals. How do you like them apples?
Well, then why is it improper then?
It's not improper.
But okay, that's what I'm. But that's the question. You have the air of impropriety, right?
Because it's optics. And if you lose, you're looking for any reason you lose. And what are you going to grab onto? Well, I mean, the system's rigged. It's unfair.
It would be rigged if you won after having drinks with the judge.
I am an outsider to the family court. The only family court proceedings I ever do are connected to my criminal cases or some kind of protective order. As an outsider, I go head-to-head occasionally with seasoned, veteran, well-known, well-liked family law attorneys. I have never, in 20 years, in that courthouse been treated unfairly. By the way, just because I lose doesn't mean I've been treated unfairly.
Totally.
That's why we have an appellate system. That's why, Justice Hughes, if you don't like the decision, you don't go tattling to a legislature and you don't empower the legislature, separation of powers, to go into a courtroom and affect the outcome in the courtroom in family court proceedings that deal with children. Let's not mince words. Custody, children, sensitive issues. It's despicable. And it's entire. And if I sound a little upset, it is the textbook definition of corruption and unfairness, and impartiality. It is the definition of the very thing they were trying to fix. It is. If I'm a family court attorney or judge, I'm sitting back saying, Justice Hughes owes us all an apology. Which will never happen.
Would an apology cover it?
Well,
because
what we
have
have
to go
now,
back and look at outcomes now.
What we have now is we have a justice and legislatures talking about getting rid of the family court. Okay, that's going to require a constitutional amendment. And by the way, you're going to create more chaos because we saw what happened when you were.
Stupid.
By the way, Justice Hughes, we saw what happened when you were running things before. Oh, I'm sorry, Judge Coons. It wasn't you, Justice Hughes. It was Judge Coons. We saw what happened when you let Judge Coons run things. 6 months of decisions rescinded on the last day. Congratulations. Great job. Great job. By the way, real issue. If you're representing a client who spent thousands of dollars in that 6-month window litigating, how fair is it to those clients that are now going to have to spend, if they have the money to relitigate all this stuff, to have to spend even more money because you mucked it up?
The Advocate has a follow-up article we haven't even gotten to yet, and we've got
By
2.5 minutes left.
By the way, this recording that I referenced, I listened to it, and it's in the Advocate article by Simpsons. I'll repost Zimmerman. He listened.
Zimmerman. There's only one.
Yeah, he listened to it's in Advocate archives. I posted it on my social media. He listened to it and came to the same conclusion and reported the same conclusion I came to.
Right. So going back to that Advocate article, there's a lot more names that get tied in here that are outside of the judicial system. How do those other names get tied in? What involvement do they have?
So if it's judges, I mean, if we're talking about parties, I got to tell you, and because I
don't want to talk about the individual cases.
I don't want to talk about the individual cases either, but some of those parties were a part of the reallotment. Remember that?
Right.
And that's problematic. Because if you're squealing, well, this person hasn't seen their child in forever. Okay? And that's unfair. You don't fix unfairness by fundamental unfairness. Wrong is wrong, right is right, and wrong is wrong, to quote William Penn. Wrong is wrong no matter who's doing the wrong.
Right. We have 1 minute left. You're gonna go to Record TV this morning. Which we could pick this up for a second part later on in the week or early next week.
I'm all about it.
So, in that 1 minute, I've got to ask you about what is the motive of Justice Hughes here? To stick his nose in the first place. Is he responding to political pressure from outsiders? Is he looking to lay a rug down over what might have been dirty in the family court in the first place? Or what does he stand to gain by taking these actions?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay.
I didn't know why Judge Kuhn was taking the cases he was taking until I heard the recording.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, I know for a fact that someone has filed a bar complaint against Justice Hughes, but that happens all the time. And if the Supreme Court is genuinely interested in justice, they're going to look into it, and they need to ask their own justice why he is doing what he's doing.
He's attorney Franz Borghardt. We do Legally Serve about this time every week. Always appreciate the time, brother.
Bye, guys.
650 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Here comes Your Money Now. Hey, well done, sir. There will be a couple of posts on this one. You're gonna get. I hope so. And this microphone is open to everybody, dude.
I gotta tell you, I'm willing to come back, but I really do sincerely believe not a microphone. He owes them.
Yeah,
and it's shitty.
And money and weekends with the dad.
Nobody knows why we're getting realigned. Some of these things entirely imperfect.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something right here, right now. I have ripped on Franz's ass before for being too nice to judges. I've ripped him on the air. I've ripped him personally. I've said, dude, you've got to cut loose and let the truth reign free, or the heaven shall fall. I mean, it's that because jokingly, I've told them before, yeah, you're not going to say something mean about somebody you're going to have to argue in front of one day, right? And you know, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. What he just did over the last 20 minutes, holy shit, that was amazing. And we're not even halfway through it. That's the shit of it. We're not even halfway through it. There are other names that are tagged onto this that we didn't even get to. The names of the people involved in the individual cases, I don't think needs to be a part of the conversation at all. There's absolutely no reason for that, because we don't know if they asked, we don't know if they coerced, we don't know if they're just innocent bystanders who got tossed into this bigger game, but their name's on the paper. So, in deference to that, we won't be walking down that path. But if you made a phone call to Justice Hughes and said we need to move this one over here or whatever, that's all fair game. Oh. That's our featured for today, by the way. We might have two features because Buck's got to be up there.
I'm gonna cut and flip Franz losing it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna post it.
Well, so this is one of the things you're tasked with as being the producers, getting us up on social media, having that ability, like just from your phone, because if we pull it from there, it loses quality.
And for the most part, I am. I was just zoned into this.
No. When that's I will give you. I need to cue you, because you can't know what's good. You know, it's there's far too many topics for like, and I knew where he was going. I was
And
like,
you were like,
we need to get a minute of this.
And I'm gonna put in that last line in one sentence, just to like, for people who don't even know what the hell's going on. He captures it good at the end. So LRN still having issues. The old cut ran at.
Okay.
But I'm gonna fix it for 7:30 in the day.
There's alligator.
Oh, you tell me. Borghardt will continue next year. 7.3 FM WBRP. 7.3 FM WBRP. With Brian Haldane, Rowland right along. Well, we got lead. There's a letter that from these people, and you need to take action because which we can fix them. He's attorney Franz Borghardt. We do legally serve about this time every week. Always appreciate your time, brother. I got
You probably got that man leaving all stressed and fired up, Brian.
He didn't need me to get fired up. We talked on the phone for a good 20 minutes yesterday. We traded texts yesterday. He's sending me links to shit that like I read more on this topic than I ever need to read because that's why I lean on him is for the expertise. He's like, you got to read this. You got to read this. I'm like,
you know it all. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like I also have to read what's happening in the insurance world. I also have to read what's happening in the carbon capture. But like, that's. 6:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Great appreciation to Attorney Franz Borghardt for a really fire legally served right there. It'll be available on demand at talk1073.com after the show is over with. Or if you wanted to, we're on Facebook Live and YouTube Live every day. Just go look up Talk 107.3. You'll find it there. Once the show's over with, the show restarts if you wanted to watch it because he was animated.
He was, and I'm about to pull it into CapCut and do a little TikTok with it and just have it. So be sure to follow us on Facebook because even after the on-demand goes away, we will show occasional clips as well.
Yeah, we got it. How's your company's IT looking? As we move into the new year, it might be time to start moving some pieces around on the old chessboard there. And having an IT provider, that's great. Having an IT partner, that's next level. That's what they do over at 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website if you want to read up on them. I can tell you all day long about cybersecurity and having, the best available technology. And I can tell you about how, trained and certified their technicians are, the CJIS certification compliance, tailored IT solutions. All these things are great. All the things on the brochure are great. But with 180 Pros, it's all about the partnership, y'all. It is all about knowing that when you call 225-330-2200, you're calling someone local. It's all about knowing that when you make a call, if something goes wrong with your IT, with your network, or you're with your cybersecurity, you're getting same-day response time. It makes all the difference in the world. And the simplified billing, game changer. Learn more at 180pros.com. 180pros.com. We're going to have top stories and trending coming your way. Next hour, we have got Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple's going to be in with us. There's a lot moving in his world right now as we've seen a number of different auto insurers dropping rates. We've seen a few homeowners insurers drop rates. We saw one homeowners insurer up rates, trading off with the auto. But we'll get through all of it in our 7:15 segment. Tim Temple, Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, is going to join us. There's one quick news story that I wanted to touch on before we hit the top of the hour news, and the questions we're going to have surrounding it as time wears on. It was in top stories and trending, and will be in top stories and trending again in our next segment. The warden at the Elaine Hunt Correctional Center in St. Gabriel has resigned from his job at prison. The Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections said, I'm sourcing the Advocate. Keith Turner gave his notice on Monday, a day before another inmate was found dead in the prison, the 7th since September. Turner took the job back in April. In a post to Facebook at the time, LDOC Secretary Gary Westcott said, quote, Warden Turner brings more than 30 years of dedicated service to his leadership role. Turner is expected to retire in February 2026, allowing the department time to plan for his succession. A Tuesday statement said he will continue to serve as warden until then. According to the statement, Turner issued his letter of resignation to LDOC leadership on Monday. The following morning, Calvin Campbell was reported dead at the prison, marking the seventh, quote, unexpected in-custody death at Elaine Hunt in the past 3 months. In a statement, Westcott said Campbell died, that an autopsy had been requested. That's where I want to stop reading from the Advocate and just pivot over to say, this is going to raise more questions than answers at first. But I have to believe right now that we are going to get answers. If we weren't going to get answers, if this were, something's rotten in the state of Denmark sort of scenario, he would be gone immediately. This wouldn't be a matter of a warden giving ample time, until February of next year to find somebody new. You don't worry about your order of succession when everything's broken and sinking. So, while we need answers, I do believe we'll get them. 7:00. Here comes news. Did you get the I emailed you this SNL sketch? No, this is the beginning. No, where they pivot from Spotify to Uber. Yeah. Some of the top 1% of nuggets. No, start it where they pivot from Spotify over to Uber. Uber Eats Wrapped. Back up to where like the girls talk about choosing the top 1% of Sabrina Carpenter. The next thing they say is where it should start. Mm-hmm. I'm on the free Pandora. That's I don't free Pandora. We have Apple Music. I just never bother with it. I just deal with the commercials because I only listen to it when I'm at the gym. So, and even then, like when if I'm on the treadmill or the spin bike, I'm listening to a podcast because I can't listen to spoken word and lift weights. I need Timbaland blasting in my ears to lift weights. I need David Guetta. No, I do. A lot of dead mouse. .705 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. We are starting off the 7 o'clock hour at 50 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge as we broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. Simplified billing, one of the many great perks that 180 Pros offers as your IT partner. We got a busy hour for you this hour. Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple in our next segment. And then we're going to talk with Buck Vandersteen. Buck Vandersteen is the head of the executive director of the Louisiana Forestry Association. I picked up on a story that was on Center Square yesterday. Headline reads, Microsoft buys carbon credits from Louisiana bioenergy plant. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk carbon sequestration with Buck Vandersteen coming up about 30 minutes from right now. Right now, though, we do top stories and trending.
The biggest stories, the breaking news, the headline makers.
I think something is happening.
Top stories and trending, presented by Baton Rouge Metro Airport, starts now on Talk 107.3. Number 5.
A federal judge in Baton Rouge has blocked the Louisiana age verification law for social media, ruling that it violates the First Amendment and is too vague to enforce. In a 94-page opinion, double-spaced, I'm guessing, U.S. District Judge Judge DeGravel granted trade group Net Choice's motion for summary judgment and issued a permanent injunction against Act 456, the Secure Online Child Interaction and Age Limitation Act. Attorney General Liz Murrell said she intends to appeal that decision.
Number 4.
94-page opinion. You just tell me no.
Right. It's like from the episode of Friends. Remember that? Where Rachel writes out like a front and back letter, 7 pages? Yes.
Just, I don't need a 94-page opinion. Just save 93 and a half pages and just say no. All right, no way this one doesn't go sideways. LSU interim head coach and running backs coach Frank Wilson is allegedly heading to Ole Miss as their running backs coach. This, according to On3 Sports. Wilson, of course, served as interim head coach after Brian Kelly was fired. He's been the running backs coach since 2022. He's got a long and storied history here at LSU. CBS Sports says Wilson will serve as the interim coach for the bowl game before heading to Oxford.
Number 3.
Talked about this a little bit in the last segment. The warden at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center in St. Gabriel has resigned from his job at the prison, according to the Department of Public Safety and Corrections. Keith Turner gave his notice Monday, which was one day before another inmate was found dead in the prison. That was the 7th of September. Turner will be in his post until February of next year, as they'll, find the right person to replace him.
Number 2.
The owners of Cadence Apartments met with Baton Rouge law enforcement to address student safety at the Southern affiliated apartment complex after multiple crimes were committed on the property, including a homicide last week. Student Housing of America, a nonprofit organization that owns Cadence, met with East Baton Rouge Parish District Attorney Hilla Moore and the BRPD on Monday to discuss the well-being of residents at the Cadence community.
Number 1.
Take you out to Ascension Parish, where deputies have arrested a Prairieville man accused of 60 counts of possessing child pornography. 49-year-old Benjamin McNeil was arrested on December 11th on 54 counts of possessing child sexual abuse materials, another 6 counts of child sexual abuse materials involving children under the age of 13. Deputies were on him about a little more than a week before the arrest date. McNeil was booked into the Ascension Parish Jail on a $50,000 bond after he was identified. He is a registered sex offender who has a criminal history dating back to 2020.
Those are your top stories. It's time to see what's trending
What you got, Breland?
All right. President Trump says he will deliver a primetime address to the nation from the White House tonight, talking about his accomplishments over the last year and previewing the next 3.
So, yeah, I'm not expecting this to be a short speech.
It's going to be quite long. In Fox News.
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
It's not the State of the Union. You're going to watch. Post up on our Facebook Live feed. The president's going to tell you everything he's done and everything he's going to do. Are you going to watch? It should be must see TV every time Trump's on. But I don't know. I'm going to a Christmas party tonight, so I won't be dialed in. You know, I'll be eating heavy hors d'oeuvres and sipping Tito's and soda.
Right. And, Caroline Leavitt and Fox News saying he's going to bring up the economy, the tariffs.
No, there are a lot of good things going on right now. There's a lot of questionable things going on, but there are a lot of good things going on as well. But I know them,
Right. All right. The Powerball jackpot for today's drawing is up to $1.25 billion. That's an estimated cash value of $572.1 million.
See, you win that Powerball, you can cover your homeowner's insurance premiums. By the way, Tim Temple's coming up next segment.
He's behind us at the moment. I know. All right, so here's the fun one, and I have it queued up. Uber launched something called Uber, where they recap your year in food and travel, and people think they stole the idea from an SNL skit.
They totally stole the idea from an SNL skit because a friend of mine sent me this SNL skit via like Facebook Messenger. You trade videos with your friends and whatnot, and he sent this to me, and it was absolutely hilarious.
Introducing Uber Eats Wrapped.
Oh, no. No, thank you.
Studied your patterns and crunched the numbers.
Oh, no, I understood what it was. I just don't like that, and I don't want that.
Well, we did it anyway. Now you can find out which restaurants you couldn't live without.
Taco Bell, Five Guys, Burger King, Chipotle.
Guess that explains why the plumber's always here.
He's not always here.
Toilet's all clear, killer.
Oh, thanks, man.
No, I got you, bro. No problem.
And learn what food items had you in a chokehold.
It says I'm in the top 1% of nuggets. What does that even mean?
Take a wild guess, David.
What? That I eat more nuggets than 99% of the world? That can't be true.
You're eating nuggets right now.
And based on your order history,
I love it.
You're going to tell me that Uber Eats did not steal that, just straight up stole it. I mean,
right. Uber of all days.
So I like the name better on the SNL sketch, Uber Eats Wrapped, because you're putting a wrap on your 2025, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I like that name better. Uber, that just sounds.
I know.
I don't know. It just doesn't fit.
It sounds like somebody's mispronouncing Uber.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, horrible business decision by Uber. If you want to see your business drop off by about half, let everybody know how gluttonous they are.
No.
Tell me to my face I'm a fat guy. Tell me to my face I'm fat, and I'm going to stop doing what makes me fat.
Right. I love Taco Bell, but if that came up first, I would say I'm going to hold off for a while.
Right. If I'm looking at that, if I'm looking dead down the barrel and seeing number one, this is the time of year where you're making your budget for next year, right?
Right.
If I'm looking at, there's one, as the clip goes on, somebody's like, we spent $25,000 at Taco Bell. That's probably.
We're going to cut out fast food and restaurants for next year. Boom.
Yeah, Uber shooting themselves in the foot with this one. We're at 712 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Hey, before we take our next break, I want to remind you about the folks over at Breck. Breck.org. Breck.org is the website. I know it's wintertime. Nobody's really going out to the park right now. Although today'd be a great day to take in the park after the last few days, right? Breck.org's got you covered. Learn about all their facilities. It's not just the outdoor parks. They've got a number of indoor facilities. They've got a number of great classes that they offer. Whether you're talking about just simple exercise classes with, people of your own exercise level, whether you're talking about pottery classes, I believe they've got line dancing going on. They've got so many different opportunities, so many different things on the calendar. Started off, though, at Breck.org. Quick break. We got Tim Temple next.
And now the
What'd you
complete
say,
history
sir?
of prescription drug pricing. It all started in the year 1950.
Let's cut to the chase.
Hi, I'm Chase. I'm a prescription benefit manager. My job is to make sure your prescription costs are affordable. So by the time you pick up your medication, I've already helped you save up to 50%. That's what I do. Prescription benefit managers. We negotiate costs, you save up to 50%. Visit prescriptionbenefitsmatter.org for more information.
Jake and James here from Trash Rangers of Louisiana.
By now, you know that we actually live here in South Louisiana, and we truly are a local company.
And as it's been from the beginning, what we say is all you pay.
Trash Rangers was built for you, and currently it's being built by you, one local client at a time.
Also, since we are part of this community, we deliver what we always expect, great service.
That includes no fees and no hidden charges.
To find out more, ask your neighbor or go to trashrangers.com. That's trashrangers.com.
Now, a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
I-12 at 25 minutes from Jubin to the 1012 split. LA1 at 13 minutes from Addis across the Intracoastal Canal to the I-10 on-ramp. And if you're traveling eastbound I-10, LA 415 across the river down to the 110 split, just 4 minutes there. Pretty quiet morning for the moment into and out of the Baton Rouge area. And if you see traffic trouble, dial pound 250, keyword Baton Rouge traffic. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle, founder of Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to make quality, custom-made blinds affordable to everyone. Traditional window covering retailers are expensive. Our prices are low, and our blinds are guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This report comes to you from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
This is Adrienne Holly with Relief Windows, your window and door headquarters, reliefwindows.com.
Well, it's happening Friday. I've got all the papers. Well, when you have the time, then you got 40. Yeah. 716 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to get caught up with our insurance commissioner, Tim Temple. He's in the house right now. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning.
Well, he's not on. There we go.
Hey, good morning.
Nope, still not there. Mic 4. All right, try again.
How about now?
There he is. All right.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. You're putting a button on a very, very busy year. Do we want to do a whole year in review, or can we start with what's the latest?
Let's go with what's the latest.
Yeah.
You know me, Brian. I'll go whichever direction you want to talk about. Insurance is important. So, look, just recently we have several companies it's the time of year where they're starting to look forward and filing rate changes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been pushing out information and then trying to be transparent. We're pushing out when they go up and when they go down.
Yes.
And so we've recently had several companies that have taken some rate decrease in the auto market, private passenger auto.
Yeah.
And that's good. Just recently, you saw one, I think it was last week. It's going to, I think it was a 6% or 5.9% statewide average.
Right.
We got to make sure that we keep that in mind.
Talking about State Farm?
State Farm.
So you're not talking about like some random offshoot, like nobody here. State Farm has over 1 million policies. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, that's a statewide average.
Right.
5.9% rate decrease. Some people will see more than that. Some will see less.
Yes.
But that's a good sign, right? I mean, look, any savings is good. We want more.
Yes.
I'm not satisfied with where we are, and we're going to continue to push for more, working with companies, but also working on more legislation to continue to create a marketplace where companies can be competitive, and we can benefit from that by seeing lower premiums.
Yes. I mean, look, I had a coach in high school who used to always say you can't eat an elephant in one bite. This was a big bite. Even at I think it was a 6.5%. I'm going to try to do the numbers up, but even at 6% for 1 million policyholders, that's 6% for all of them.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's just straight up money in my pocket. That's a big bite of the elephant.
Well, and I didn't do the math. I probably should have. That's tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That people are saving.
Yes.
Across the state. So again, that's good. The week before, we had another company took a rate decrease. So we're seeing movement there on the private passenger auto. We've also seen, and I know the company you just mentioned took a rate increase in the property market. But
the same State Farm.
Farm, right. But we are seeing other companies take rate decrease as well. We're seeing rates, the amount taken is less. We're seeing decreases. We're moving in the right direction. I think people are starting to see the relief. That doesn't mean everybody is. I'm sure there's some listeners right now saying, my insurance went up. That is unfortunate. I mean, but that is when you're in a dynamic market, it doesn't apply. Not everybody gets the same thing.
So well, and my story. I mean, I just took a big decrease by simply shopping around.
Exactly.
Which you've told me to do for years, and I finally listened.
Shop your insurance. Look, I know a lot of times it's not something people want to do. It takes time, it takes effort, but it is something that pays off.
Your eyes glazed over.
Spend the time with agents. Go to direct writers, turn over every rock.
Mm-hmm.
And there are savings to be had out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And lean on your agent, by the way, and make them go through all the minutia of it. That's what they're there for.
That's their job. And look, and they're good at it. That's what
right.
keeps them in business. But do that. Shop your insurance. There are options out there. People can save money. You've heard, we've talked about getting the fortified roof. We've gone over that program a lot. We've talked about wind mitigation surveys too. On your homeowners, do a wind mitigation survey. I am still just pleasantly amazed at how much money people can save by going and getting a wind mitigation survey and finding out things that their home has, building construction codes that were used that save them money on their homeowners insurance.
What other things are out there like that? Well, first of all, what is a wind mitigation survey, and what does it entail?
Yeah, it costs. I think it's around $300. But a surveyor comes out, and this is someone that's trained in looking at how your home's built.
Mm-hmm.
And they look for things like hurricane straps, how your roof is attached to the frame, how your frame is attached to your foundation, things, just a lot of different little things that add up. And the surveyor, they'll come out, they'll note, which things are applicable. They give you this piece of paper that shows what your home has. And then you take that to your agent or your insurance company. They will apply discounts. And I'm telling you, it's substantial. It is really amazing when people come and tell me, hey, I heard it. You mentioned getting a wind mitigation survey. I did it. There was a radio host down in New Orleans who recently did it. I think he said he saved $3,600 by doing a wind mitigation survey. Now, I don't know. He didn't tell me what his total premium was, but still, he was extremely excited that he was saving $3,600 by having that done. So, again, it's one of those things where you got to put a little investment in it. This one's actually, you got to invest a little bit of money.
Just trying to figure out which host it was.
So
it was Newell. We'll say it was Newell. All right.
So, but spend the time, spend some money, and it will pay off for you.
Absolutely. But to go along with that, I mean, you had an announcement last week, 2 in the homeowners game that it was
yes.
Sure Choice Underwriters Reciprocal Exchange and Elevate Reciprocal Exchange had 7.5% average rate decrease. They carry 73,000 policies statewide.
Yeah, I think total it was a little over 90,000 policies combined. So again, those are homeowners.
73 and then another 17,000.
Yeah, so a total, those homeowners policies, again, that's an average discount a reduction they're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
But also it shows that if you're shopping your insurance, there's more companies out there that are taking decrease. So again, can't stress that enough. Shop your insurance.
So, okay, when we're talking about something like this, do companies like this have a cap on the number of policies that they'll carry?
Well, they'll have a portfolio, how much business they want to write.
Okay.
Yes. But that doesn't mean that it's just going to apply to those. Again, like if they're writing new policies, then that reduced premium is going to be, or reduced rate is going to apply to whoever they, businesses they write or individuals they write.
No, I wouldn't not a cap like that's imposed by the state or imposed by you or anything, but like what they decide they want to invest in us.
Yes, that's correct. And again, and I'm glad you bring that up because that's part of what, when you hear me talk about competition and creating a marketplace that companies want to do business, we are competing for those companies you just mentioned to write more business, to put more capital at risk in our state. And that's why we've got to continue to work on legislation to make Louisiana a more balanced system when claims happen, that they're treated in a very predictable, stable, and balanced environment.
We got Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple in with us, going over a couple of the headlines of recent weeks with some movement in the downward direction by a number of insurance outlets. But let's back things up and get a little, 365, the last 365 year in review here. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the year because we've seen a lot of change. We saw some changes earlier in the year that weren't attributable to the recent work in the legislature, but kind of were when you talk about just good faith investments.
Yeah, look, again, going back, making me use my brain earlier in the morning, but at the beginning of this year in January, we were focused on legislative session addressing the legal reform, specifically to the auto industry. I mean, that was really the segment. Last year in 2024, it was primarily focused on the property market, and we're starting to see, as we just talked about, some of the positive results of that. But at the beginning of the year, legal reform, auto reform, we had some successes. We made some I'd say some really big strides, like modified comparative fault. We did get some medical transparency. We've talked about that, phantom damages, those issues. We've got some more work to do there, but we made some good progress. And again, I've been having conversations with insurance companies since then and before then on, as you say, kind of take a bet on Louisiana. We are paying attention. After years, we are getting, getting, I don't want to say serious. It's always been serious, but we're making some progress on addressing the issues. And so, I'm talking to companies, asking them to letting them know what we're doing, but also to invest in Louisiana. A lot of times these laws, look, several of them, they don't even become effective until, a couple of days, January 1st.
Right.
So it takes time for these things to start to impact. When I'm asking the companies to invest in Louisiana, we're committed to making our state a better place to do business. We need insurance companies to step up and start to give some premium relief, kind of hedge, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see that. And it's, look, they can actuarially justify when you change laws, how it's going to impact their future books. So they're not guessing,
right?
They're using actuarial science there. But I'm asking them just to make sure they're using as much as possible.
We get Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple with us. Let's follow up on that, though. As you're talking to them, they've seen what we have done. Are they making a request for what they'd like to see us do next?
Well, that's always been an active conversation.
Yeah.
We are in the process of working with companies to get more data to demonstrate where the system is being abused, how it's being abused. And then we take the data and then we work with the legislature to say, this is legislation that needs to be passed to rebalance the field.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know if particular legislative ideas, particular legislation can come of discussions like this.
It really doesn't come from the companies. They can be engaged in it, but I'll tell you, a lot of it is, legislators, they've got a National Association of Insurance Legislators, INCOIL. Their conversations discuss what other states have done.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm with National Association of Insurance Commissioners. I just came back from our year-end conference last week. But by the way, I gave the outgoing president. Every year we elect a president from our member commissioners, and John Godfrey from North Dakota was the commissioner this year. He was going out. I presented him with a Marucci bout.
Oh, and, nice.
Oh yeah, he was super excited about that. I think we've got some pictures on the website. So, but
it was, check that out.
Yeah, you need to. It was he was proud to get that. But my point is, I was talking with commissioners from around the country last week on ideas that they've done, legislation they've passed. This last session, Georgia passed some legislation. We're looking at some specific bills that they passed.
Okay.
And if, to see how they could help improve our market. Obviously, Florida's been a big state we've talked about a lot. I continue to talk with Commissioner Mike Jaworski there on things that they've done and the results they're seeing. And look, Florida is on fire in a good way on insurance reform there. They're seeing rates go down across their book on property, on auto, and it was because of legislation they did, starting in 21 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a couple of years for it to burn in, but they're starting to really see the benefits of it.
Even still, that's not that long of a period of time.
Brian, it's not that long, but there are people out there right now that get insurance bills and they don't know how to pay them. Meaning they don't have the funds.
Right.
Or they're having to not pay some other bill because of that. So while, yes, I kind of, it takes time and, we all need to have a little patience. There are people and there are businesses that don't have that time and patience. And that's why, that's what really energizes me to continue to push for reform and get things passed every single time we get a chance, because I know it takes time. And so we need to do things now.
We've got 2 minutes left with Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, and I'm going to give you this 2 minutes to talk about a really big win, not affecting our premiums necessarily. The National Council of Insurance Legislators has officially adopted Louisiana's amended insurance fraud law as the new national benchmark.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because look, that's something that all of us in Louisiana should be proud of. We are leading the charge on trying to do anti-fraud efforts in our state. I think for years and years, it was kind of secondhand, if you will. It wasn't quite as in focus as it should have been.
Right.
And so I'm glad. And that's one of the things, Brian, when I became commissioner January of 2024, I sat down with my team at the Department of Insurance, and that was my head of fraud, asked him, what do you need? And he said, I if I could, I need more people. I need more resources and need some software. And really just a okay to go after fraud.
Right.
And so we gave him all of that, and they're charging. Look, we all know that fraud's out there, and we pay for fraud. If somebody files an insurance claim, whether it's an auto claim, a homeowner's, if it's a workers' compensation where they say they got injured and then, they're out playing basketball, the next day. And, we've all seen videos like that. Anytime somebody is collecting insurance money that they aren't entitled to, that they shouldn't, that they didn't deserve because they really weren't injured, or they didn't get in that accident, or they really weren't hurt, we pay for that.
Yeah.
As consumers. And so I want to make sure that we're doing everything we can fraud wise or anti-fraud efforts. And so to reduce that excess that insurance companies pay that we fund. So I'm proud that Louisiana is leading the charge on that. It's a really nice, feather in our cap to see Louisiana, leading the nation on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I said it doesn't affect our rates. It does. You just can't put a specific ROI on it.
Yeah. It's tough. It is tough, but they can, you can, at the end of the day, they can put an ROI when they show the amount that they were identified as fraud.
Right.
It's that unknown portion. Right.
Yep. He's Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple. We always appreciate your time. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in January.
You too, and we'll look forward to some more good news.
Here's news. Oh, yeah, the fraud one. I was going to get, was it Gabe Ferment was the one that wrote it? Yeah. I'm going to get him on.
He introduced that legislation. I think the legislator whose bill it was. Gabe was the one that introduced it in Coyle.
Oh, okay.
But it was.
Hang on. It wasn't Representative Furman's bill in the first place? Nope. Adam Bass. And Jacob Bro.
Yes, they're Bass.
All right. So I hadn't had Bass on the show in a long ass time. He's a good dude.
He is. Yeah, I was watching that hearing yesterday on the whole MCOs with United and Aetna.
Yeah.
And he was so I knew he was in town. But yeah, you need to get him on sometime. He's good.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Lana Venable introduced me to him.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Well, she's introduced to a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks as always. Sorry. We can anytime you want to do something on insurance, let me know.
No, always, yeah. It's and I've been back and forth with Daniel about we're same segment next year.
Yep.
7:15, third Wednesday.
Yep.
And
that spot we recorded the other day, I heard it on the radio yesterday. I liked it.
Well, good.
I normally don't. When I hear my voice, I always turn the radio down. Or if I see it on TV, I never watch anything. But I just listen to it. So whoever was recording that did a really good job.
That was all you, boss. It's a very passive aggressive way of telling me I'm too white. This is Buck. Can you? Hello. Hey, Buck. Well, we're gonna call you right back from this. This is my cell phone. We're gonna call you right back from the studio line. Okay.
I'm running LRN.
All right. We'll be right back in touch. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't give you his number. That's what I was gonna hand you the phone.
Vandersteen.
Microsoft. It's not safe, or is it?
Here, just show it to me. I'll take a picture of it. I'll call him in a minute.
It was an SNL sketch.
Okay.
They're putting out a report. They're putting out a report on Uber, telling you what Uber Eats you ordered throughout the year. Like, why would you do that? Why would you tell a fat person that they're like?
Makes business go down.
Although I do want to look and see what my daughter ordered
Right?
this year, so I need to check that.
But so and the question I had about like or insurance companies making like recommendations.
Yeah,
is that
they don't come and specifically say this is the legislation you need to pass. What they do is they say these are how claims are being filed that we don't think they're frivolous or abusing the system. And so then we go and look and say how is that? What law is enabling you to do that? And so we sit there with legislators. So okay, this is what we need to pass.
So yeah, because to me that's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's the best way to lower rates is to do what they're asking to do.
But I don't
On the
need-
other hand,
Buck,
it's
it's
the best way
Rowland.
for
What
all
is
these
it, Brian
people on the other side to say they have too much influence.
And that's why,
Good morning. I'm gonna put you on hold, and Doug will come to
We'll
you.
figure out
Just
what
to
it's
do, okay?
Yeah, because otherwise, I agree. It's kind of like the doctor, not even doing, he's just going to tell you whatever he needs to bill to, make you well.
I already know my biggest one is going to be Peter Egan getting back out there again. I got hooked on that bill and I can't stop.
It's a good thing.
Forget Medicaid, forget lost wages, forget the government in the car. There's a cap of $5 million on nothingness. Right? $5 million for nothing, and needing that to.
It makes sense. 17 states have that law. So, all right. Y'all have a great day.
You too, Tim. Thank you. Oh, but yeah. So I submitted the paperwork that the painting we're contracted with them, and it's getting done on Friday. So if they continue to push for cancellation, I'll let you know. Yeah, we'll do. Thank you. It's all of the ones. I mean, it's 60 years old.
Right. Same stuff. I know. I'm like, we just got to do it. Oh my goodness.
736 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. The holidays are upon us, and while they can be a great time for most, they can also be a trigger for those who suffer with anxiety or depression. If that's the case, if that's you, if you've battled with anxiety or depression in the past and you've been treatment resistant, meaning you don't like the way you feel on antidepressants or they just don't work, you don't like the process of the sit-down therapy, or it just doesn't work for you, give Neurojust a look. Neurojust, neurojust.com. They're located right there on Bluebonnet Boulevard. They specialize in something called transcranial magnetic stimulation. This is an FDA-approved, non-invasive, no side effect therapy, sending magnetic pulses into your brain that target the areas that affect mood. And they show results, y'all. And I can speak to this, well, not firsthand, but secondhand, because my mom goes there. She's sleeping better. That brain fog in the day is gone. She's seeing the results, and I get to see the results in her, and it's an awesome thing to see. It's so, to see it firsthand is just, it's amazing. If you've been treatment resistant with anxiety or depression, give Neurojust a look. Neurojust.com. All right. Saw a headline yesterday. Microsoft buys carbon credits from Louisiana bioenergy plant. This is called the Beaver Lake Project, and I wanted to dig in on this and find out as much as we could. And in reading the story, I saw a quote within the story from Buck Vandersteen. Buck is the executive director of the Louisiana Forestry Association. I got the privilege to meet him when I was broadcasting from the Legislator earlier this year. So we welcome him right back on board. Buck, how are you this morning?
Brian, good morning. And everything is well today.
Good to hear. All right. Walk me through this. Walk me through this partnership between Microsoft and C2X and how it trickles down to Louisiana.
Well, Brian, that story is kind of a second story, even though it is a major news event. forest industry really needs to grow in Louisiana. We have an abundance of forest resources, and it has attracted private investors to come look at Louisiana to set up shop, employ people in rural areas, invest in rural communities, employ people, and this would be a tremendous help to the forest products industry. Beaver Lake is an example where a mill closed 20 years ago, left an abundance of wood that had no markets, people that needed employment. The folks from Beaver Lake Renewable came in and said that we'd like to set up a shop that would create a methanol fuel for the shipping industry. Many of these investors say this is a great place to do work, to do business, but we like to be environmentally friendly and reduce our carbon footprint. And this is where the carbon capture and storage comes into play with the forest industry. And this carbon capture and storage has created numerous opportunities, and the latest opportunity that you just see is with Microsoft. This big meta plant up in Northeast Louisiana wants to be carbon neutral by the end of 2029, 2030.
Right.
And looking at these opportunities where we hope to have carbon capture and storage part of the forest industry, just adding to that value. And this is going to be pumping billions, not millions, but billions of dollars into our communities.
Okay, I want to take that part and put it back on a part that you mentioned earlier, pumping billions of dollars into the communities. These are communities that you referenced a little while ago, lost paper mill. In fact, I believe we lost 3 different paper mills in the state. So we're talking about a number of people who had jobs and then one day didn't, and this is going to be putting them back to work.
Exactly right. We have an abundance of trees. The landowners out there have done a tremendous job planting trees and nurturing their forests. Our logging community, our small business people, these new mills will come in and provide them opportunities to move wood to those facilities. It is good through the entire system, from large business, small business, even the ancillary businesses like our restaurants, our part houses, our oil companies, and all of that will benefit from these investments.
Walk me through a little bit of what's going to be done here, because we are going to have to get around to the point where there's a part of the story that sounds counterintuitive. I mean, trees suck up carbon dioxide themselves. So walk me through how this is a net positive for us and a net negative for carbon reproduction or carbon output.
Well, you're exactly right. Trees are a wonderful source of sequestering carbon. And that carbon is sequestered in buildings and desks and furniture and all of that. The investors that are bringing money, and this is private dollars that are coming in, they're saying that is something that you're doing already. We want to do something additional above and beyond what Mother Nature does with our trees and our forest resources. So they are encouraging, they are saying we'll invest in these projects if we can even further reduce our carbon footprint by capturing this, transporting it, and sequestering it in the ground.
We've got Buck Vandersteen with us. He's the executive director of the Louisiana Forestry Association. So sequestering the carbon in the ground is one part of it. The green methanol production facilities are another part of this. How do those two work in tandem?
Well, the green methanol is going to be the primary product that in this case, Beaver Lake Renewables will be producing. They have a commitment from a large shipping firm called Maersk that wants to move from the heavy oils that they burn now in their ships to cleaner burning fuel. And methanol is a alternative that they want to do. This conversion from heavy oil boilers to methanol boilers is not cheap, and it costs millions of dollars in each of their ships to do this. When people tell me that all of this carbon capture and storage is a fad, I kind of sit back and say, would a investor pour in billions of dollars in something that they thought was a fad? This is reality. This is something that they are committed to doing, and it has given Louisiana a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of our surface resources, our tree resources that we have, and then looking at below the surface, our unique geology that allows us to safely sequester this carbon for millennium.
We're talking with Buck Vandersteen, the executive director of the Louisiana Forestry Association, about this Beaver Lake project. But I also want to talk a little bit about scalability here, Buck. Like, how much can this be replicated? How much can we take advantage of it?
Because Louisiana is growing 70% more wood than is coming out of our resource, we have opportunities for 2 or 3, 4 of these Beaver Lake renewable projects. So the resource is there. Our landowners and our forest industry are committed to the long-term sustainability of resource. Many people don't realize, but we plant about 50 to 75 million trees a year in our forests to ensure that we have future forests down the road. We have to have the markets today to continue to encourage people to reforest. Best thing we can do for people is give them a market, give them the resources that they can financially invest in their forest resource, invest in their prosperity, invest in their retirement and education. And this has ripple effects throughout the entire economy. And forests are often in our rural areas. Rural areas need opportunity and growth to keep our young people in our rural communities and our industries prospering.
Oh, 1,000%. Could not agree more on that front, to be sure. And when we're talking about number of jobs and whatnot, as I understand it, this particular project, right around 1,150 construction jobs, more than 600 direct and indirect jobs once it's fully up and running. Those are the kinds of numbers that we can't afford to lose out on.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And if we can do this right, if we can get the public to understand and to learn the process and get over the emotion of carbon and carbon capturing and start looking at how we can do this safely and how we can make sure that our first responders and everybody understand the risks, because there are always risks. There's no 100% guarantee on anything. But I do believe that we can find solutions to making this work and having Louisiana lead our southern region in this carbon capture and storage.
How important is it that we take note of this, who it is that's involved in this, not just the what, but the who here? We like you mentioned Meta and their project in North Louisiana earlier, but this is Microsoft. We're putting Microsoft's name on this project as well. How important is the who?
Well, they're certainly the big players, right. And as we all know, with AI and you look at the stock market, and you look at the billions of dollars that are transferred every day for these projects, it is almost mind numbing to see that. You know, we're simple people. We will like to look at what our trees growing, our trees harvesting, and the resources in our community that grow, and we're delighted that these are private dollars. These are monies that investors see an opportunity, and if I believe that we can make this work for everybody.
As do I. I share your positivity on that front. He is Buck Vandersteen. He is the executive director of the Louisiana Forestry Association. We're going to keep your number around here, Buck, because as this story advances and similar ones like it, we're definitely going to want to check in.
Well, and thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful holiday and a Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, Buck. Buck Vandersteen, thank you so much.
Take care.
You too. Coming up on 750 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Got to remind you about I owe Danny a phone call. I got to remind you about the folks over at 5 Star Printing and Signs. They bring you this day in history every day, and they're here for you. They are here for you when it comes to all your printed materials. I really want to share an emphasis on wrapping vehicles, though. You see them more and more out there. More and more people are diving in because folks like Danny, he has dove into this world, and he's not going to do it unless he's going to do it better than everybody else out there. 271-4096, 271-4096. Branding and marketing need to be met at every turn. Literally. Give Danny a call, 271-4096. Talk to him a little bit about vehicle wraps and a whole lot more when it comes to your printed materials. 5 Star Printing and Signs. winning. That's all. Just winning. Oh. Buck Vandersteen? Yes. Stop it. That's my computer. It detected a threat.
You are the threat, Brian.
7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. That's at my our cybersecurity is too good. It's my apologies. I'm resetting something on my computer. Cybersecurity. I just got like booted from the internet real quick.
Really?
Yeah.
All I heard was beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, the threat was detected. And
I was like, Brian, you
it
are
got
the
me
threat.
out. Yeah, no, I'm not the threat. I'm the storm. One more second. My apologies, y'all. Doing this in real time. Sorry. By the way, how great was Buck Vandersteen just then? He said something in the middle of there that I couldn't get past. We talk about carbon capture and in terms of like in terms of it being, a catalyst for environmental change, or I don't think it'll save the environment, or I don't buy into the Green New Deal, or I don't want to make economic investments on our end based off the whims of the, whatever way the political winds are blowing. Buck said, would an investor pour billions of dollars into a fad? I can't agree more. The people that mark the books out over the course of the next 5 to 10 years think it's a good investment. So why wouldn't we take their money? Why wouldn't we have jobs in our backyard? I don't know. I'm here for it. Especially when it can dovetail with the forest industry, when it can dovetail with, the pellets that he said Maersk was one of the ones buying in on this. That's it. That's global shipping. I love that. Let's keep it going. It is 7:57 at Talk 107.3 FM. We do have a lot more ground to cover. In our next hour, St. George Mayor Dustin Yates going to give us kind of a recap of the year in St. George. Also next hour, Main Street Markets opened up. We'll talk with them about what they've gotten restarted right across downtown. In the meanwhile, though, you heard the story in our news at the bottom of the hour. The U.S. Department of Education giving Louisiana a $15 million grant to lead a 5-year study on the impact of high-dosage tutoring on first and second graders. Deputy Superintendent Dr. Jenna Chassaw says the project will serve about 4,500 students in both traditional public schools and charter schools as well. Cut 7, please.
This study in particular is going to really help to take a deeper look into what are the best practices in high dosage tutoring, especially in first and second grade, which are really pivotal years around literacy instruction.
Chassaw says the awarding of the grant recognizes the state's leadership in advancing evidence-based literacy solutions.
Just points to the fact that Louisiana is very well poised with the literacy work that we have done over the last several years to conduct this research and for us to learn even more about it.
Now, she also says Louisiana has been a national leader in high dosage tutoring. And we're seeing the results of that, by the way. We do see the numbers where we're moving up the charts. We're not 50th in anything anymore on the education front. So that's helping. That's working. While there's still work to do, though, we have seen progress specifically when it comes to literacy.
We're really proud of the progress students and educators have made in this state, and we're ready to build on that momentum and also continue this progress to make sure that every student in Louisiana can read.
I think my favorite thing about this, though, is that the study itself is part of the live action. The study's not in a bubble. This is in public schools and charter schools. You're studying the net effects of something that you already know is working while it's working. I mean, the kids that are being helped through the high dosage tutoring are, technically part of the study. So, it's you're basically filming the rehearsal here, which is great. Hour 3 is next. What you say, sir? How are you? Doing all right. Doing all right. I hit you up and then saw you on the daily report almost immediately after that. It was password. It was a paywall protected story, so I didn't read it. I just saw your picture. I think it's about what's coming to St. George next year. Is there a want for a yesterday's PM report says what's next for St. George? Schools and a sports complex. So I take it you weren't part of that story?
I think that the guy did call me maybe a couple weeks, maybe I forgot about it. I think I talked to somebody. They don't call very often.
So the only line that comes through before you have to, because you got to be a business report insider, it says daily report sat down with St. George Mayor Dustin Yates to discuss how Louisiana's newest, and then that's where it grays out. So being a little liberal with the term sat down.
Yeah, it was a phone conversation. I think it was just a general talk on what's coming in 26, I guess. In the sports complex, that's really coming in 26, which is something that we're currently in the process of evaluating.
Yes. Oh, we don't have nearly enough gyms in town, Baton Rouge or anywhere. That's an interesting find. Oh, sorry, Breland. That's oh. I can't wait to get the stupid bathroom done. House. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I just saw your text. My bad. Sorry about that. 806 Talk 1073 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, Breland producing. We're starting off the 8 o'clock hour at 52 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. We got a busy hour this hour, y'all. Oh, of course, we're broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. We got a busy hour this hour. We're going to get kind of a year in review from St. George Mayor Dustin Yates. That's coming up in our next segment. And we're going to talk Main Street Market as well, as they have reopened in downtown Baton Rouge. That's all still to come. Before we dive into this day in history, I do want to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website. FlyBTR.com. In fact, I've already booked my flight for Washington Mardi Gras. Shouldn't say I booked it. Haley booked it for me.
I was going to say, did you
do
it?
No, I didn't do it. We could not live without Haley up here. She's like the catch-all for everything.
She is.
I know. And she's awesome at all of it. But my flight is booked. How about, is that better phrasing? My flight is booked for Washington Mardi Gras. I'll be flying on the Baton Rouge Metro Airport and flying back in to the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. There's a direct flight to and from D.C. I think I'm taking the direct one out, but I'm taking an indirect one back just to match up with times and whatnot.
Ain't it like an hour and 20 minutes? Something like that. It's quick.
It's quick.
You're done there.
Yeah. It looks longer on the way there because you lose a time zone.
Right.
So, but leaves out right before 7 o'clock in the morning, comes back same evening. If you're going to Washington, D.C. and can take care of business in one day, don't even have to stay over. They get it done. And when it comes to the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, you're talking about such a much better option. Don't have to pay exorbitant amounts of parking. You're not losing 2 hours of your life driving to and from New Orleans. There are so many great options. Start them off at flybtr.com. All right, time for this day in history. Let's roll.
All right, digging in the archives, Brian. 1900, Pope Leo XIII closes the Holy Door at St. Peter's in Rome.
Closes the Holy Door?
That's what it says, ending the Jubilee year of 1900.
Okay.
1903, Orville Wright pilots the first sustained, powered, and controlled flight of a heavier-than-air aircraft.
Interesting.
Near Kitty Hawk. We read about that one in history books.
We did.
1957, the last episode of the Nat King Cole Show, which I didn't even know he had a show, airs on NBC, canceled due to lack of national sponsorship.
No kidding.
Well, you mean to tell me you couldn't sponsor Nat King Cole? Come on.
I don't know. Why did he have a show?
I don't know.
Just great singer, like legendary singer, like legendary musician, but Overall entertainer?
True. Only one person can do it.
I
That
don't-
is Kelly Clarkson. No, I'm
No,
joking.
no. I mean, like, but I don't know though. Entertainment was different back then. Like,
Correct,
you would have
correct.
like Dean Martin host a show, but Dean
Right.
Martin's
He's Dean Martin.
right.
1964, Goldfinger, the third James Bond film starring Sean Connery, premieres in London.
I love gold. No, it's Gold Member. Sorry.
I was like, wait. Okay, 1965, the first concert held at the Houston Astrodome. Judy Garland headlines and the Supremes.
I did not see that coming.
Come on, don't. I love her Christmas music,
Uh-huh.
but it's Judy Garland. Come on.
Oh wow.
And the Supremes.
The first concert in the Astrodome.
Well, get this though. The Supremes was the opening act. I would have flipped that. I would have
Yeah.
had the Supremes headline, Judy Garland open.
Hindsight, right?
Anyways, 1984, A Christmas Carol premieres in the U.S.
Mhm.
1989, The Simpsons, created by Matt Groening, premieres on Fox TV.
My son is into The Simpsons now, and he wants to watch
Stop.
all of them.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just, I'd rather Family Guy over The Simpsons.
Oh God, no. No.
Brian!
No. So he wants to watch all of them. I'm like, son, the show started 35 years ago.
Right.
More than that.
It would take decades.
Right. He's like, I got time.
Gosh, skip it on down. 2012, Adele was named Billboard's top artist of 2012, while her hit record 21 was named top album of the year.
Good for her.
2024, Pope Francis says 2 assassinations attempts on him were foiled by British intelligence and
Really?
Iraqi police, which
Okay.
I don't remember that happening. Maybe I was living under a rock. You got anything?
Not on the timeline. Everything I've got is birthdays.
All right. Birthdays. Pope Francis, head of the Catholic Church, globally influenced religious leader. Birthday is today.
Okay.
Sarah Paulson, you know her from American Horror
Studio
Story.
60 on the Sunset Strip is where I know her from.
I know her from American Horror Story.
No, let's say Studio 60 was a 1-season show written by Aaron Sorkin, and she played a character named Harriet Hayes, and she was awesome.
Really?
Yep.
And from Schitt's Creek, and I can say that word
No,
because it's
you
a different
can't.
word.
You
I
can't.
still can't.
No. Move on.
Okay. Eugene Levy.
Yeah, Eugene
has a
Levy.
birthday
There
today.
you go. All right.
Interesting. All right, what you got?
Ernie Hudson's birthday is today. You know him from Ghostbusters and from Boston Blue, the spinoff from Blue Bloods. It's Bill Pullman's birthday. It's Giovanni Ribisi's birthday. Mila Jovovich, they've got her written down, but I think you had her yesterday, so that one might be in question. Also, bringing it back to New Orleans, Art Neville's birthday, and in the world of sports, Michelle Tafoya.
Interesting. For deaths, I don't really have any. I've been digging. Penny Marshall, she's from The Odd Couple. Laverne and Shirley, she was a director. She passed away at the age of 75
Oh,
today.
wow. Okay. And everything I've got is like obscure foreign figures.
Me too.
Yeah,
I couldn't really
okay.
find anything. All right, today's
Yeah,
day,
nobody-
National Maple Syrup Day. Eat some pancakes.
Okay, there we go. It is 8:12 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, let's get a year in review. St. George Mayor Dustin Yates in the house next. It pronounces the same. It doesn't matter how it's spelled. I don't care if you spell it with a Y. If you say fuck with a PH, it's still saying fuck. So I've tried twice to watch it. No. It starts so slow. Everybody's like, if you make it through the first 2 seasons, it gets really good after that. And I'm like, all right. Oh, yeah. Oh, how are you? Was driving past City Hall the other day. Yeah. Oh, y'all weren't there. I was late at night, so 8 o'clock at night. So yeah, you go up Sherwood Common, and then across the street.
One street that's off of Sherwood Common, closest to Portsmouth. Right
Yeah. Y'all are good and hidden back there. That's
to good spot, and then we just took over some space off of Jefferson Highway for Public Works to operate out of. Old Wilson Kimball contractors to lay down yard, little office space. Now that Public Works is expanding and we're buying equipment and all those other good things that go along with Public Works.
We'll talk about that too.
Sure.
Yeah, my daughter's basketball trainer is on Sherwood Common. So you go up Sherwood Common, you get the neutral ground there, right?
Uh-huh.
You go up Sherwood Common towards Airline, and where the Red Cross is at, there's a building here that's got like a Benjamin Moore paint or something like that, and there's a big linen place in there. He's in that building. It's like Buckhead, I think it's called. Buckhead's the shopping center.
Yep.
Or, yeah. 8:15 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We are checking in with a number of year in review segments as it is that time of year, and this man to my left has had a busy one. St. George Mayor Dustin Yates, welcome back. How are you?
Doing well, Brian.
I can tell how busy you are by like the frequency with which you're in here, right? As you've been slammed lately. I mean, it used to be like, what was it, like once every other week or so? But y'all are moving out there. Walk me through some of the highlights of 2025.
Yeah, great. It's been an unbelievable year. So we had our first elections, we had our first inauguration of our initial council and mayor and chief of police. To think back where we were at this time last year, we had the very beginning of a government, and fast forward to today, we are fully operational. We do everything: planning, zoning, permitting, code enforcement, and then as of a couple months ago, Public Works, and that's really been exciting to really dig into the Public Works projects that we have, and it's had such a positive impact on our residents already.
Oh, I would imagine. Totally. Let's start with we were just talking about City Hall during the break. Let's start there, or pivot to there, as y'all were in the back of a fire department and then moved into your own digs off of Sherwood Common.
Yeah, right. So we were leasing some space in the fire department for the beginning period there. We were fortunate enough to find a building that was pretty much turnkey ready, large enough to house everything for city operations. We're going to do a little renovation here in the beginning part of next year. On one wing of it, in order to have our council chambers there, so we'll have all of our meetings there as well. So really excited about it. It's been really great.
So is the plan to be there long term, or is it the plan to be there long enough term?
Brian, I take it a day at a time at this point. I don't get too far ahead of my skis. I would imagine maybe potentially at some time they would look at do a little bit something different, but for the foreseeable future, that's where we'll be.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with the building. It's not like when you think of a city hall, it's not the grand city hall-esque type of. I mean, it's nondescript, I guess would be a good word.
It's functional. It's utilitarian.
Functional is a good word. Utilitarian's a good word.
You're right. It's not on Main Street. It doesn't have City Hall on the top of it, lit up in lights. But it works.
Right.
And it allows us to do what we're there to do.
We got St. George Mayor Dustin Yates in with us. And you were talking to me during the break about Public Works. They've gotten their new headquarters as well.
That's right. So Public Works leased a spot off of Jefferson Highway, close to Mason's on the other side of Jefferson Highway. It's their laydown yard. They have a little office space there as well. But they're starting to purchase equipment. We have some dump trucks and excavators and backhoes now, and all the things that you need to have in order to be a functional Public Works department. And it's really exciting.
Where are we in the timeline of, are we still is it still quote unquote transitional right now, or are we past that part?
We are past, as soon as we picked up Public Works, we moved past transitional to just the city of St. George.
Okay.
So other than the things that we're going to be tied to with the parish, so, the sewer is a parish-wide function. We partner with the parish for traffic light synchronization, animal control, things like that. But everything else that was going to transition has transitioned.
We got St. George Mayor Dustin Yates in with us, talking a little bit about the year 2025 through St. George's lens. Along with that was pivoting over tax dollars as well.
That's right.
Walk me through a little bit about, let's relive the process a little bit.
Okay. So the transition of dollars really didn't start beginning until April of last year when we finalized that intergovernmental agreement with EBR to facilitate that transition. And it was a metered step, process where we were receiving a certain portion of the sales tax money that was generated in our area up until a point. As of July 1 of this past year, the full remittance has been coming to St. George. Now, that being said, we contracted with EBR to provide public works for a few additional months until our public works was up and operational. But as of November, like I said before, when our public works team became fully operational, we are now receiving and retaining our full remittance of sales tax revenue. We're using it, within our own city.
When did it all become real? I mean, and I know it's been, but like, when did it really hit home? Like, this is happening. This has happened.
I think it's probably happened multiple times for me. I think the biggest one though really was the public works one, just because that's really the biggest function of our government. So once we took over public works and I had the ability to pick up a phone, I had somebody call me the other day about a pothole, and it was somebody from the media actually.
Really?
Right. So they send me an email about this pothole. I look at it. I pick up a phone. I call our public works guy. I said, we need to get somebody over there to take a look at it. He goes over there, takes a look at it. I said, what do we do? He goes, we filled it. Same day. Same day. So I emailed the lady from the media back and I said, look, we took care of the problem, but we're going to have a bigger fix at some point in time. She said, when did y'all fix this? I said, today. She said, today? She said, wow. And so that was kind of one of those moments where having the ability in my position to pick up a phone and get something done within 2 or 3 hours that maybe in the past might have taken a little bit longer than that, Brian.
No, I completely understand. And it's good to be able to get out in front, and because it's easier to stay in front than it is to dig yourself out. Well, pardon the pun, dig yourself out of a hole.
Sure. Ain't no doubt about it.
When it comes to public works, are there limitations on what your capabilities are right now?
I mean, we're still waiting on purchasing some equipment. So there's some things that we're waiting on there. We're still in the process of hiring people to facilitate some of these roles that we need to have through our contractor. But outside of that, we're limited by time, money, and weather.
Okay. Well, I just didn't know, like, project wise, because, like you said, certain pieces of equipment and whatnot, but there's particular areas of expertise that might be needed as well. It's just, as a new city, as a, budding and growing city, are you staffed up with all the experts basically?
Yeah, we have a lot of great people that are there working for us, and the ones that we don't have contracted, we contract with other groups that come in and do these particular functions. So we have a really great public works director, and he's really on top of his game, and he's just done an excellent job. So we're getting a lot accomplished.
On the law enforcement front, how has that been working?
It's been working well so far with the sheriff's office. I just approved a contract the other day to put, I believe, 25 LPR cameras in the city, so license plate readers. So we really want to try to maximize on the technology side, to ensure that we have a safe community. But it's worked well so far. And then obviously, I think most people know that we brought on a third-party company that provides public safety assistance to us for all of our vehicle accidents in the area, which in turn allows the sheriffs and the state police to go back doing what they do best, and that's fight crime.
So let's stick on that for just a second, because if I'm being honest, I completely forgot y'all did that. For those that are unfamiliar with it, because it is a different model. A number of cities are picking it up, but it is a different model. Walk us through what happens if you get into a vehicular accident in St. George.
Well, the same thing happens. You get in a vehicular accident, somebody calls 911. It goes to the sheriff's office, and based on the severity of the incident. So if it's a minor accident, we're talking about minor accidents, things that don't involve injury, that don't involve potentially, a criminal element to it. Instead of dispatching the sheriff's office, they dispatch this third-party company, OSS.
On-scene
services, which you would never know that they're OSS. They come out in a truck. It says St. George Public Safety on it.
Okay.
They facilitate. They facilitate writing the report. You can get a copy of your report the next day. We've had nothing but positive response. I mean, I haven't had one negative response from one resident in our area. And on top of all that, they almost kind of act like DOTD's MAP group, where if you broke down on the side of the road, they're stopping, they're changing tires, they're doing all these public service functions that have been really well received as well.
We got Dustin Yates in with us, the St. George mayor, putting the cap on 2025. Obviously, we got to talk a little bit about the council as well, because this is a year's worth of, or just shy of a year's worth of coming together, working together. And put a grade on the that transition itself, that transition alone, like everything else aside, just working with a council that y'all are like, once you're a city, you're no longer fighting against Baton Rouge. That common enemy is gone now. It's about working together. So walk me through a little bit about that evolution.
Yeah, so you're right. It's absolutely an evolution. You're talking about people that have never been elected in any position in their life, including myself. So it's been a learning process for all of us. But I think all of us came into it with the idea that we had the same vision. We have the same goals of where we want to go. So all those things have been aligned, and it's been really a great teamwork experience, which I know is uncommon in a lot of places when you see councils and mayors that are constantly at odds or don't see eye to eye. We always felt it very important to not create that type of culture in St. George. We said we wanted to be different, and that's something that is different in a lot of other places. I really couldn't be happier with the work they put in. It seems like everybody on that council has kind of found their niche of where they want to really focus in on and what their passions are, and they have the ability to make some great changes.
And they're just gravitating towards that organically.
Yeah, initially, I think the thought process was that I was going to, kind of get these council folks kind of assigned into particular areas of expertise or areas that they were super passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
But it really did kind of happen organically. Just certain people gravitated towards certain things, and I always felt that my role was to empower them, to flesh out exactly what they want to do in those particular areas, and it's really been great.
We've got St. George Mayor Dustin Yates in with us. I want to go back to the public safety end, because you mentioned the license plate readers.
That's correct.
Where do those go to?
Well, our chief of police has kind of strategically placed them out throughout the city. So when they're put in, and the idea is that it's a lot of entries and exits to the city.
Yeah.
So if you're going to commit a crime in the city of St. George, when these LPRs are up and operational, and you're driving a vehicle with a license plate, we're going to see it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I asked because, Baton Rouge has got the real-time crime center.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't imagine St. George would have a real-time crime center, at least not yet. So it's the best data available is great as long as
there's somebody there to
correct.
Right.
So we got about 3 minutes left with Dustin Yates. I want to pivot and talk about the future if we could.
Yeah.
I know the impetus behind this movement back way back when this whole thing first started was about a school district. Are y'all, how quickly can you move and do so prudently when it comes toward, you were told you needed a city to make a school district. Now you got a city, so obviously it's the next logical step. But at the same time, though, you want to make sure you have your feet under you as a city too. So walk me through where you're headed with the school district.
Yeah. So as everybody knows, and if you don't know, we have an election coming up in May.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally supposed to be in April. They pushed it back to May. We will be rolling out our campaign probably in the end part of January, beginning of February.
Okay.
And then we'll hit it pretty heavy from March through Election Day. We've been working with a group that's been putting together the plan. That was always the argument, right, about the city. You never have a plan. They say the same thing now. And now look at us, right? I mean, it seems to have worked out all right. And then it'll be the same thing with the school part. So I think the impetus was to get ahead of that a little bit, show people exactly what the system's going to look like, what it's going to do for the residents, and really how it can be a benefit to East Baton Rouge Parish.
Do y'all have a bingo board set up somewhere with the possible excuses as to why you can't? Are we buying squares on this one?
I don't even think I need a bingo board, Brian. I already know all the reasons why we can't. It's the same story that's been told for the last 12 or 13 years. And all I can tell you is that watch us, because we're going to get this thing to a vote, and I feel confident that we're going to be successful, and we're going to do some pretty great things.
Well, I mean, it was like just rewind the clock. And by the way, just a side note, if you had children in school when the independent school district idea came up, those children aren't in school anymore.
I tell people this all the time. When we started this, my son was 3, my daughter was 5. My daughter is graduating high school this year.
Yeah.
And my son's a sophomore.
Yeah.
So an entire generation, literally an entire generation of children from start to finish has gone, and we just can't afford to continue doing that.
It's a testament to how incremental history moves. It really is. He is St. George Mayor Dustin Yates. Always appreciate the time. We'll check in the beginning of 2026 to keep our eyes on that school.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. 8:30 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We have got, we're going to check ABC News first, and then our local news, traffic and weather as well. On the back end of that, we're going to move from St. George into downtown. The Main Street Market has reopened, which I'm a big fan of. What's there? What's still to come? What possibilities are out there beyond that? How does it affect the farmers market? The whole thing. We're talking about all of that coming up next. Main Street Market has reopened. Right now, here's ABC News. Awesome stuff. I would love to see some of the if there were like a big board of the. I mean, there's no bigger. Well, you can't do this unless you're a city. All right, we're a city. You know. All right, now we are. So what's next? What are you going to hit me with next? Good. It should be. And so I did my show last Thursday from the Louisiana Association of Public Charter Schools about their annual conference. I heard the word autonomy no fewer than 50 times over 3 hours. And that's what it's all about. Being in control of your own destiny. That's I don't know who wants to stand in the way of that.
Well, I mean, just imagine a world where I hire you to be a principal and say, Brian, this is your school. Right. Yeah. If you're no good at it, you have to be good.
Right.
You know, small central office. All right, man. Have a good Christmas.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Merry Christmas. The Revenue Estimating Conference has determined that the legislature will end the current fiscal year with a $293 million budget surplus.
Morning, Brian. Darlene. Good to meet you, Darlene. You're right here. And admittedly, I haven't been back to the market yet.
Okay.
So
no worries. We've only been open about a week. So.
Yeah. I was there all the time before. So is it Darlene Adams Rowland or is it just okay?
Does this? It's on YouTube too.
Yes, Facebook and YouTube, and we're always.
So do see my face. Is basically my question.
Yes.
It's not just the voice audio. That's fine. I just want to make sure I'm, cognizant of that.
Always, and we don't go to break on Facebook, so
Okay.
we're always
Okay.
on.
Right now they can hear you. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. There you go. All right. Whoops. It fell.
Did you mean to text this to me and
Listen.
Franz, or just me?
Because I know sometimes you want to post some stuff on your personal page.
I'll post it on Talk's Twitter.
I have it on Talk's Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. I'll put it up on Twitter. No. I want it under our name and tag him as opposed to the other way around.
I did already.
attorney on the show earlier this morning calling a state Supreme Court justice corrupt. So we're making the most of that video. Yeah.
That's Franz.
Yeah. You know him?
Yeah.
Matt and Ange, we're going to get to that. They want to know, I'm interested in the market. Tell me where to park, pay to park, where to go, what's in it. They want to know the whole 9 yards. We're going to get to that.
Good questions.
Yes, I have to remember that there will be a whole audience of people who have never been to it before.
Yeah.
So I have to start from scratch.
I know. I have to remember that too. Because well, and it's a lot of people. There's a lot of confusion over what's Main Street Market, what's Red Stick Farmers Market, which one's open when. That's totally separate. Yeah, that's a different organization. So there is a lot of confusion around it.
You're the one with the downtown. Right?
Downtown.
Okay, you have the live music. My sister-in-law played there. Shay Tully.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's us, and we're every Saturday, and but we have 3 other locations too around town, and then the Main Street Market's the brick and mortar built. So it is confusing. I mean, it's not that people are confused; it's just confusing. Unless you are a frequent shop, someone that's there all the time. We have a very loyal following, yes, of regulars that don't miss it every single week. And then, the audience is so different Monday through Friday versus Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different constituencies we have.
You spoke at Rotary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to remember how long ago that was.
It was just about 3
It
weeks
wasn't.
ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It was in November, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, there was that talk that put it in my head that I needed to get you on.
Yeah, I remember you giving the update during it. It was.
I have fun.
It was good. Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
.836 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I was talking with Dustin Yates in the break there about the school district on its way, and I couldn't help but point back to the Louisiana Association of Public Charter Schools bringing me out to their conference last week, and the number of times I heard the word autonomy. The number of times I heard that word. I mean, just to be in control of your own destiny is an important thing. And I'm never you never want to see somebody stand in the way of someone else being in control of their own destiny. So as they're gearing up for that battle, definitely looking forward to following it the whole way. And a big shout out once again to the Louisiana Association of Public Charter Schools for having me out. It was a fantastic conference. The numbers are looking great. The literacy, the numeracy, it's looking great. The just building new leaders for the next generation. Everything they're doing over there. So big shout out to the Louisiana Association of Public Charter Schools. All right. The Main Street Market is back open. Joining us now to talk about this, we have Darlene Adams Rowland. Darlene, good morning. Welcome to Talk 107.3. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Let's get you right up on it.
Okay, right up on it.
There you go.
I'm doing great. Great to be here.
Glad to have you back on. Now, before we dive into what is the here and now and what is the future, let's rewind the clock back to what made the Main Street Market a thing combined with the Red Stick Farmers Market.
Yeah, it's actually interesting history. So Main Street Market opened in 2002, and the way it came about was through the original Plan Baton Rouge 1, which now we're in Plan Baton Rouge 3.
Yep.
So it was part of the charrettes that were going down. What did people want to see in a downtown? And overwhelmingly, people wanted to see a public market. And so Baton Rouge Area Foundation, of course, was very, started Plan Baton Rouge and is still very involved with that. And so they approached Breda to see, at the time, the Red Stick Farmers Market started in 1996, so we're almost 30 years old, and it used to be over on North Boulevard and St. Louis Street. So the idea was to move the Red Stick Farmers Market to 5th Street and Breda take over and manage Main Street Market.
Just for very quick reference, Breda, interestingly enough, does not stand for Baton Rouge.
It does not.
Big River Economic and Agricultural Development Alliance. That's Breda.
You got it.
That's why it's right in front of me. It's on the
mouthful.
screen. So that's I did not memorize. That was just well read. But Breda is behind the Red Stick Farmers Market. So talk to you a little bit about what that is, what it does, and who can play along.
So we call it Bretta for short because of how long it is. But Bretta is a nonprofit that was founded in 1996 with the purpose of really connecting rural and urban communities. So the fact that there was not fresh food in downtown Baton Rouge, and we had all these farming communities around the state that were looking for an outlet to sell their produce. It was the result of a master's thesis of a student of Susan Turner in the LSU Landscape Architecture Department. Chris Campany was the student. So our co-founders are Chris Campany and Susan Turner.
Okay. Very, very
So
cool.
the first market started just a year after the New Orleans. New Orleans started in 95. And we started in 96, but I always think it is really interesting, how markets start in different cities. And I think ours is pretty unique that it was a thesis project.
Wait, New Orleans has always hit the French market. I mean, since the beginning
the
of
Crescent
time.
City Fresh. That is true, and that's interesting. But if you look at markets, when you get deep into the market world, there's a lot of differences. So you have things that are called producer-only markets, and our market and the Crescent City Farmers Market. Producer only. That means the farmers grow it and sell it themselves. The French market, I think, originally, forever ago, was that. But at this point, in a lot of markets around the country, it is people buying produce from farmers and reselling it. Just because the fact that if you have a market open every single day, you can't have a farmer themselves there every single day. They have to farm sometimes.
Right.
So those are kind of the key differences in farmers market.
Speaking of which, when is the Red Stick Farmers Market open?
So we're here every Saturday in downtown Baton Rouge, 8 to 12. The only Saturday we close is Spanish Town. So you can find us rain or shine. If it rains, we go inside the garage. So if you come down and don't see us on the street, just head inside. But we have 3 other market locations as well. We have year-round also a Thursday market, 8 to 12 behind Pennington Biomedical. That's every Thursday. And then we add 2 additional ones in like high harvest seasons, the fall and the spring.
Okay. We're talking with Darlene Adams Rowland about the Main Street Market is open back up. Now, we covered the farmers into this. Let's talk about what goes on inside as well, how that grew, how that evolved.
Yes. So, as I was saying, it came out of Plan Baton Rouge. It opened in 2002. The idea was when all of the state workers were coming back downtown and they were building the state buildings, they would needed to have parking for those state employees. So the Galvez and LaSalle garages were constructed. But the planner at the time said, let's do something more unique and put some retail around the bottom of those garages. So it's just not a ugly garage building.
Right.
So, of course, people are familiar with the YMCA's down in LaSalle. And ours is the Galvez, which has, syrups, different retails. But then along that city block on 5th between Main and North Street is the Main Street Market. It's a long, narrow corridor that spans 5th Street. And so that became the Main Street Market.
Vendors inside. Now that y'all are reopened again, is there a whole application process or get it filled back up again?
So we're actually full. So, so the footprint of the market did change somewhat. People that came before will notice a dramatic difference when you walk inside. And really the impetus for the renovation was that after 20 plus years, the facility was, in dire need of renovations of just, the number of people we have, 1 million people going through that building a year. So just new floors, paint, things like that.
Yeah.
So you notice that right off the bat. But the biggest thing is that we opened up the space. And so we took out all what used to be sort of the steel partitions along the window side, which made a very narrow corridor to walk through.
Yeah.
And also just made it kind of a dark space. So now when you come in, it's very light, bright. It's completely open. All of the furniture that's in there now is on casters, so it can be moved in any configuration based on our needs.
Very cool.
But it makes for a much more open, welcoming space. So we do have 5 permanent tenants in there now.
Who are the 5 permanent tenants?
So we have Creole Creations, which is like Louisiana, seafood and Louisiana classics. We have Sapor, which is an Indian restaurant, which is really yummy, fast casual Indian. We have Vivian's Rotisserie and Grill, which focuses more on healthy salads, cauliflower rice, rotisserie chicken, things like that.
Okay.
We have the Cozy Griddle, which is a breakfast all day place with also kind of meat and 3 lunch options. And then we have kind of what anchors the space down on the North Street end is River and Roots Market, which is actually an initiative of Bretta. And this is a place where you can grab coffee, which is sourced with local milk from Feliciana's Best Creamery. So every cup of coffee you get there, it's pretty unique, comes from our dairy farmer.
Okay.
And also there is a fresh produce case in there where we stock things from our Red Stick Farmers Market vendors Monday through Friday. So people can now get that same flavor
Oh,
of the
how
Saturday
cool.
market Monday through Friday.
Oh, I love that. I love that for so many reasons. Yes, the local is a big part of it. But the other part of that is like you're not limited to just going out on Saturday. If you miss out on Saturday, you swing by Monday. There's still gonna be plenty to choose from.
Well, we recognize that we have a very different audience that comes Monday through Friday and Saturday. And a lot of people that work downtown Monday through Friday don't want to come back downtown on Saturday. We recognize that.
Yeah.
So this is a way that people that are working downtown during the week can still access fresh produce. And we do this also because this is Bretta's mission. Our mission as a nonprofit is to give farmers economic opportunities, to increase access to fresh, healthy food, and to build communities. So with the renovation of Main Street Market, we're trying to make sure we hit all three of those pillars of our mission in everything we do.
With the vendors that you have with the restaurants that you have in there right now, probably the biggest difference between 2002 when this first got launched and now is the food truck craze. And North Street is going to be lined with them. How do you go about making sure that you can maintain competitiveness?
Well, I think competitiveness is not as much an issue. What's interesting is that Creole Creations actually formerly was a food truck downtown.
Awesome.
And so they are one of the ones that elected to come and rent a space inside.
Good
so,
for them.
so we're really happy to have them in there so people are familiar with them. I think it's that we tried hard to curate a diverse group of restaurants so that people that are coming to eat together. What's great is when you come to Main Street Market, a group of friends can come. Everybody can get what they want. Everybody can pay separately. You don't have to worry about splitting a tab.
Yep.
It's quick, and then you can all still sit together. So that's the beauty of it. And of course, we have, restrooms and AC in the summer and heat in the winter. And, those are the differences between eating in a food truck and eating inside Main Street Market is really the experience in a minute.
AC in the summer was the right answer. That was the whole answer. We didn't need you go stand in line in 100-degree heat. I'll be good over here.
Well, and it's consistency. So that the market's going to be open Monday through Saturday.
Right.
Food trucks, part of what makes them exciting is that they're nimble to go anywhere at any time. So you don't always know that you're going to have that consistency from a mobile unit, whereas you can always come to the Main Street Market.
Very, very good stuff. Okay, so the place is full out now. It's up and running. Walk me through where it can go. What other potential is there?
Well, a couple other really exciting parts of the renovation is that we now have Bretta has a teaching kitchen inside the new space, which was totally new. We did not have that before. It's
but there was a space there. John Foles used to do a show from there. He would do a radio cooking show on Saturday mornings that I may have produced from time to time.
Oh,
yeah.
We did, and that was quite long ago. So that has transformed throughout the years. That was no longer in the latest iteration.
What I was going to say though, it was user friendly for John, for Chef Foles, but not for the rest of the class.
Yeah. So what again, this goes back to fulfilling our mission, which is food access, nutrition, education. So we now have a space that we can do our cooking demos. We always had a cooking demonstration on Saturday mornings, along with the farmers market, but we didn't have a dedicated space to do it. So now we can have rows of chairs lined up. People can come and sit. It's got cameras so that you can see exactly what's happening, where the chef's cooking, and we have TVs all throughout the market that can be live broadcast for people to see. So
very cool.
It not only allows us to do that on Saturdays, but we'll be adding programming during the week as well. We'll be doing some we've already done some private nutrition education classes. It allows us to really do a lot of education about why it's important to support local farmers, buy local food, how you cook with interesting things that you see there. Lion's mane mushrooms, for example, expose people to new things so that they can feel confident. That again goes back to our mission. That's going to increase sales for our farmers, and that's going to teach people how to eat healthy.
Sorry, lion's mane mushrooms?
Yeah, that's just one
that's
example.
That's a thing?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Most people know about, people that are really into health and mushrooms know about it, but they're an amazing source of, they help with brain function.
Yeah, I get the ads in my TikTok all the time. I thought that was BS.
No, when we grow them right
Let's
here in
go.
St. Francisville. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for it. We got 1 minute left. We got to get to the most important part, and that is where to find you, how to access you.
Yes.
For those that are unfamiliar with the Main Street Market, where do they go? Where do they park? Where do they go in? The whole thing.
Okay, we are in the Galvez Garage on the corner of 5th and Main Street downtown. When you go into the parking garage, you can get validated parking if you're going to purchase something inside Main Street. So you go in and park. There's, you put your license plate in later. So just go in and park.
Yeah.
You come in, buy, and we have a QR code at the merchants inside that you'll scan to add your license plate, so you get 2-hour validated parking.
Excellent. Very good stuff.
We're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can come in, have coffee at River and Roots, meet up with friends, go into lunch, an afternoon coffee. It's open Monday through Saturday.
Very, very good stuff. Darlene, thank you for a couple minutes this morning. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're coming up on 8:50 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. That means it's time for Your Money Now. We'll close it out next. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
That was so
Appreciate
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm my go-to, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Completely honest. All right, you ready for this?
I love honesty.
My go-to was to go to Main Street Market twice a week to go to Fresh Junkie.
Oh yeah, we love Fresh Junkie. Yeah.
And I would go to Fresh Junkie, and I would smell the Chinese place right next door. I'd be like,
your goal was Fresh Junkie, and then you ended up.
I would go to Fresh Junkie, and then like,
you would go for healthy.
Pat, I love you, always will, but they got egg rolls.
Well, he
So,
had a loyal following, both of them.
oh, I'm still loyal. I love Pat. He's the best. So,
And what he did was great in there.
Yeah.
It really was. And so it's just a new iteration of things, and we're excited though because, like I said, the places we have in there are all different, so it really makes it.
so kill the mics real quick because I don't want to kill the mics real quick. Did anybody say anything in the chat about saying shit versus shit? Okay, good. Right. Well, that's trademarked.
Yeah, but no matter what, you can say it. No matter what. I was like, okay, so I'll just never say it. Always say big games, no matter what.
Instead of Super Bowl. Right, right. So okay, we're allowed to say Super Bowl when it's not the context of a commercial. Right. Right. Yeah, no, because verbally it's the same. It sounds the same. So you can say damn. You can say damn.
You can say ass in the terms of like Post Malone has his big ass stadium tour.
Yeah.
I can say it like that, but I can't just come out and be like, hey.
You could say ass, but you can't say asshole.
Well, you learn after 15 years of radio, Brian. I've learned something new today.
I'm surprised he would.
Just like you said, never say regardless. Let's get ready to roll. He had a sign in the studio. He goes, no matter what, just don't, so we don't get in trouble. I'm like, well, why? No,
Yeah, it's
incredible program director because he was stern on me. He made me what I am today. He was overly stern, but like some of his mannerisms, I'm like,
Well, yeah. It's crazy. Well, you can't quit DJing. Yeah, as hard as I try, I can't quit. I had 7 gigs this year. That's the lowest I've ever had, and I didn't want them. No, not a lot. I mean, I did 3 weddings this year. That's it. Wait, I had 9 gigs this year. Sorry, not 7, 9. I try not to DJ. No, I try very hard not to. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if somebody needs a DJ for like a 5K or a fun run or something, yeah, as long as they, I mean, I don't do it for free, but I can do a discounted rate because I'm done by like 10 a.m. You know, I'll do those all day long or every week. Oh, do you have the two 3.4 and the Henderson cut? And the Henderson? Yeah. Okay. 8:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Don't forget, coming up on December 22nd, the Matherns at Kenilworth, Highland Road, just west of Kenilworth. The Matherns at Kenilworth, Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming, along with the Coca-Cola holiday truck. They're going to make reindeer food. They got cookies for you. Take your pictures with Santa. They got a hot cocoa bar. They got a whole lot for the kids to do out there. This is December 22nd, 5 to 6 p.m. at the Matherns at Kenilworth. If you've not yet taken a picture with Santa for the year, this is probably going to be your last chance to do
and
it before the big day comes.
They got booze? Do they have booze, Brian?
Well, they're for sale inside the store.
Woohoo!
I don't think they're going to stop selling booze inside the store, but no, it's not provided as part of the event with Santa. No, completely different. But they have a hot cocoa bar. So
with rum?
No, you can buy it inside the store. I don't think they're going to complain about that. It's just they're not providing that for you. Yesterday was the field trip game for LSU women's basketball. Breland was there.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Made my whole day.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. The kids are at a fever pitch the entire time. And when a meme happens in real life, it can really take hold. And a meme happened in real life yesterday. You know that TikTok trend, give me 2 clips that have the same energy? We're going to do that here. And we're going to start with what went down yesterday at the Maravich Assembly Center. The LSU women's basketball team called timeout. They called timeout up 65-17. Why? Because of what the next basket meant.
Kids love the number 67. We very innocent and fun. Still haven't figured out the origin. Part from a rap song, part from a bunch of different stuff. But when we get 67, for the adults in the crowd who don't know, these kids are going to go berserk. So here we go. Inbounds lob to Knox. She touch pass. Richard layup is good. And she's fouled on point number 67. And as advertised, the kids are going crazy. Coach Mulkey's smiling. There's some little hand gesture that everybody has done. This is something.
That's the nerd.
Coach just shook her head and said, I don't know. Richard misses on the free throw. That is irrelevant to everything going on here. Morgan State's got it the other way.
Patrick's such a nerd. Patrick Wright and Shayna Williams on the Golf Village Sports Radio Network. There's some kind of hand gesture going on. Oh my goodness. Okay, Breland, I need you to cue it in within that.
It's ready to go.
No, not the other cut. Go back to the LSU highlight. Can you cue it up to right where the point where the ball goes in the basket and the crowd goes crazy? Right there. Yeah,
and
right
she's
there.
Fouled on point number 67.
Listen to that fever pitch energy. Listen to that white noise.
Loud.
And
White
as
noise.
advertised, the kids are going crazy. Coach Mulkey's smiling.
All right. Give me 2 clips to give off the same energy. Yesterday, LSU women, when they hit their 67th point, and then there's this.
Snap, placement, kick by Hartley, and it is good! It's good!
pigs have flown. Hell is frozen over. The Saints are on their way to the Super Bowl.
It's the same level of noise.
Yes.
The same level. I know. But like scoring 67, going to the Super Bowl, those equate to the exact same level of white noise in the building.
Correct.
Until Patrick talks, you can't tell me which one that is. Oh, we're done. We got to get out of here. Moon's next. All right, Facebook, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Dr. Strain is in the house. Oh, yeah. You haven't done this yet, have you?
No, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, yeah. Buckle up.
Is it like Franz?
No,
like
it's
today?
like nothing else in the world. It's like
Love it.
It is Shakespeare the way it's meant to be performed.
Amazing.
So
I'm ready for it.
We'll have Haggai. We'll have Crime Stoppers. We'll have Dr. Strain.
Oh, and then Foodie Friday. Have you got that plan yet for Friday?
Raging Cajun. So I don't know. I think we're making dirty rice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah. So here for it. We'll see y'all.